I'm fine.
Did some drink go down the wrong tube?
Yogurt.
Oh no.
Oh, worse.
Didn't go down the wrong tube. It just got clogged in my throat.
Oof. That's
I
rip right
realized I realized yogurt probably not the thing to be eating before I have to talk for long periods of time. But hey,
there. I mean,
yogurt.
eh.
I do like me some yogurt.
You know what? Fair. Okay, I am link bombing. First, my bubble didn't turn purple. What the heck?
Mm.
Just as we start, I'm going to grab some tea.
Be quick.
Don't whistle on stream. That's really loud for other people's ears.
God.
Just getting the kettle going. I'm good to go.
I'm still doing the link bombing. Oh yeah, this server does not have a self-promotion channel. This one does, though.
You know, I like the fact that in my Thursday game I have a worse perception. Actually, it might be the same. I don't remember. It's either a 9 or an 11. I don't remember if I have proficiency.
And here I am playing two very different characters.
I mean, yeah, same. If you reversed mine, they would make a little more sense given general world technology level.
Blip.
General setting technology level.
Technology level of Scattered Realms is all over the place.
Well, yeah, but like in Ada, Brimstone would be less out of place, I guess, for having firearms as much.
No, he'd still be out of place because he uses like an old pre-manufactured level sniper rifle.
Even then, though, like him having firearms is less out of place. Like the make of his firearms, yes, but him just possessing them is not as out of place as it is here.
Yeah. Oh, now my bubble is purple. Okay. Link bombing, all the link bombing I care to do is done. 'Cause, well, meh. If people want to come and listen to us be dorks playing D&D, they can do so.
The best episodes for, but yeah. It's downtime. But we'll see how it develops.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, the only thing I have left to do is just put my character sheet over on this monitor. And, okay.
Can you actually undock your thing?
Hmm?
What?
I don't know. Depends on what you try to dock or undock.
Oh, can you move the character sheet off the actual page?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can move it onto a separate monitor.
Yeah, I turned it in.
You have to just pop it out.
Yeah, I do that, and then I'd put it on the monitor to the right of me, and the one straight ahead of me is what I have Roll20 on. And then I have a drawing tablet that doubles as a third monitor that I keep OBS on, so I can keep an eye on shit. Little behind the scenes, if anybody's listening.
Oh, that makes it so much fucking easier.
You you never knew that?
No.
Fair. Roll20 says nothing about letting you do that, so it's not odd to not know that.
Yeah, it took me a little bit to learn that you could do that.
All right then. Is everyone ready?
Yes.
Then let's go down the list and introduce people.
Well, I guess I'll start. Hello, everybody. I am Armored Hunter, playing Fancy Boy. And trying to get the most out of relaxation.
Not relaxing at all.
Yes, by not relaxing at all and instead running around doing things and other things.
People relax in different ways.
Very true. Hello, everybody. I am the Danny Boop. I play the sad lady who may or may not have fucked up by choice of words last session. We'll wait and see how that goes. And I do the stem.
Fail Trolls? I play Failsy. I don't know how I'm not in prison yet.
A lot of factors going into it. You're a political member of society from a different country. A little difficult to put you in jail. At least when society cares about its political standing when it's neighbors. But that doesn't mean you're immune to everything.
Myth. He's muted.
Sorry, things happened.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I think.
Okay.
Don't feel afraid to tell us if you're not.
Yeah, for now I am. I just don't know if that's going to change.
Okay, keep us up to date.
Yeah. I'm good to go. I'm good to start.
That's Bethosier, everyone.
Yeah.
We know him, we love him, we love to play with him, but man, does he not like to introduce himself.
Why use words when... No.
Hello.
Yep.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I just slammed my desk to do a thumbs up. Just, yeah.
It just sounded like your head just dropped onto the table. And just like, did he just get shot?
I would think you'd hear more than just that.
It depends on how far away the sniper is.
That would be weird, because my window, you can't see me through it.
I like to think it was just Brimstone going, "You gave me too much emotion, asshole."
Oh, you assume that's the only character I've tortured.
But he's the only one with a gun as far as we're aware.
Fair.
Aside from your big bad guy, I don't know any other characters of yours.
Any hoozle. Hello, everyone. I'm Ash. I'm the DM for this group of strange and interesting characters. And all I have to say to continue going forward is, last time on the Scattered Realms, Session 55. Our band. I don't know what a band is. Our band of intrepid adventurers, Javinche the human spelldancer, Morgan the hexblade warlock, Failsy the sorcerer, and Brimstone. I don't have a funny joke this time. I didn't write a session. I didn't write a session recap. Party finally found themselves back. Some not the first time, and for others, first time in the Emerald Bastion, the actual capital city of the country of Grainham. Sorry, I'm looking over my notes about what happened last session because I forgot it all. Left my brain because big head, small brain. Big head, no thought. However that joke goes. Anywho's. Yes. Party made their way to the actual capital of Grainham, where they spent some time to actually explain the situation they found themselves in Fellhaven, and apply for the assistance of Grainham himself, as well as all of his intelligence forces to simultaneously help track down what the plan of this individual they've come to know as Arya is, and the current whereabouts of their now lost companion, Kepta. As it currently stands, they are waiting for a new cart to be completed for them, as well as a new steed to be given to them, as Galadriel was damaged in his frankly terrifyingly fast blitz to try to catch up with the party when they teleported to Fellhaven from across the country. Now, you join them back, still the Minutes Lost Tavern. After they've told some stories, had some drinks. Get the music going again.
Also, as a side note, for anyone who does watch this, the DM is currently in a situation that is not their normal location for this game, hence why they sound robotic-y and poppy.
I'm trying, goddammit. Chromebook is not the most powerful device.
You're understandable, that's what's important, but you definitely do sound different than what you normally do. Just wanted to explain that.
Yeah. There we go, now the music's working. Alright, so where we left off last time was you all actually being the Minutes Lost Tavern. Rather eclectic location in Grainham proper, as anytime you are served a drink by someone, you cannot see them, yet you can only see their clothing. It seems that things in the tavern itself have not been terribly busy at the current juncture. So the actual owner and proprietor of the Minutes Lost Tavern has been sort of whittling away the early afternoon hours, or the mid-afternoon hours, just talking to your group as you are a group of new faces, clearly rife with stories. So, it's quite a lot. It's quite a lot. Seems you all have been through so far. It's sort of up to you all what stories you would have wanted to tell him, if anything. Because I know you all did say, some of you wanted to say some stories to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dravinche did mention some stories from when, from the time he worked before encountering the group. So you guys end up hearing some tall tales of him diving underneath the land and exploring the vast forests of the Blossom Kingdom. So for some of the group, it seems like half of the things he says shouldn't exist or are malarkey.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the group don't believe him. Brimstone refuses to.
I've certainly heard a lot about the Blossom Kingdom before. Quite an interesting location. Just barely our neighbor, and yet so far removed from everything we understand.
And the people there, there are sights that you would see that you would not see anywhere else. And then people you would meet that you would never see anywhere else.
Of course. Heard a lot of people who travel back and forth there mention that that is a location for which everything we understand in what we believe to be our commonplace society was out the window in exchange for whole new cultures and norms. Strange people, strange places, delicious drinks.
Yes, I ended up having to learn Elvish in order to get by on a long-lasting trip out there.
It is the common tongue over there. Like how over here, this language we speak now is the common tongue. There, Elvish is the common tongue. I can imagine it gets very hard. The language barrier could be a bit of an aggressive thing.
But you make do.
Of course. Right, so you've definitely earned yourself a drink or two. I certainly don't mind paying that forward. What about the rest of you? Anyone else want to tell of something interesting, an exploit of your journeys?
I got one.
Whatever picture fails, he's already drunk.
Well,
Walter Vince's been talking, she's just been drinking. Just
Well,
like, oh, Gary T's talking again.
She bought a bottle of bourbon, said to let her forget that her mother's trying to kill her.
And fails, he's down the bitch in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, if you actually intend to drink that much, you need to make some Constitution saving throws to avoid passing out. But I will not stop you, but I will require those rolls if she is drinking to that level.
I don't know, she just already started drinking, so I don't know how drunk she is now.
For a bourbon that's going to make you forget that your mother is trying to kill you, you probably already need to start making Constitution saves. Don't fuck around here.
8.
Right, so you're already well on the way to getting plastered. You still have the ability to speak and understand things going on around you. If you keep it up for like another few minutes, you get the feeling you're probably going to lose that ability, and then you're eventually going to lose your consciousness. It'll be a fun night.
Everyone else has to deal with blacked out Failsy, who's probably still moving. Uh-oh.
That'll be fun. So what's your story, then? You want to tell?
Failsy relays a tale of her escape from her mother's prison, from Fellhaven's prison.
Yes,
Although
the tale of you melting so many people.
Although she attributes all of Shaffan's exploits to herself and nicks Shaffan out of the story.
Just like you do. But not only you melting many, many people, but also you rescuing many, many people.
Including yourself.
And starting a massive riot.
Somehow breaking yourself out of magically protected chains and just fucking going ham on some guards. You know, I question the legality of that story, especially all the death and the, odd regimens that have probably missing a few numbers now. But it's a story, and I don't think that's a story from here. No, I don't care about their gods.
I'm reasonably sure I didn't do it here. Did I do it here?
You didn't. That was a different city. You're good.
Yeah, that I'm good.
Different jurisdiction as well.
Yeah. Oh, definitely look like you've been through a rough patch of it. I know adventurers when I see them, but I also know when I've seen adventurers who have been through some shit. Like, looks over at the fact that Sonata is currently, like, falling asleep in her seat. That's alright that I said that.
Well, pray tell, what... I'm curious, what indicates us as well-traveled? To your eyes.
You just watch as he scans his eyes over the party. Well, just getting a good look at you all. And hearing your voices as you speak. I can tell that one of you is from the Pale Crest Isles. Accent alone tells of that. But also is wearing garb clearly of someone who has traveled a good deal in their life. You, sir, if I remember rightly, Javinche is wearing... He took off his hobo clothes and actually like put on his slightly more dressy stuff.
Yes, he put on his slightly more dressy stuff that he got from the Emerald Plaza, or Plateau.
That was based off of his... Like, the style that she gave you was based off of his, like, normal dancer's garb.
Yes, with a kind of wind/fire motif in blues and yellow, or blues and golds.
I look at you and I can clearly see the fact that you come from somewhere a bit more arid than here. I assume either the desert, like your other tiefling companion there, it says while looking at the slowly becoming more drunk by the second Failsy.
Just like slumping slowly further down in her chair.
Leaning backwards slowly further and further as she consumes more of the bottle. Or potentially from Tesvarel. You don't really look like someone from Tesvarel, if I'm going to be honest.
I've gotten that a few times, but
He's not a native person. Don't get me wrong for saying that.
No offense taken. No. But I will say, I was born and bred there.
Fair enough. And then I just look over at your other large companion here, and I just... Not going to lie, looking at that man for a second, he just gestures towards Brimstone. Looking at that man for a second. Does like whenever someone's trying to like get something in frame for a photo, and they make like the two L's with their hands. It's just like almost do like the zooming in and out motion. But he like frames Brimstone as he's leaning away from your table, just like that is the picture perfect example of a retired adventurer who's for some reason been forced back into the line of work.
I mean, you're half right.
Yes, you could see it in the expression, the scowl, the face of I don't want to be here right now, but I'm forced to be here through moral obligation. His brand that's glowing brighter by the second, that I assume is probably a magical item of some description.
Well, that is him to a T.
Lovely. So you ask why I know, and I look at you all, and you're not from around here, basically.
That's fair.
Yep.
Still good to hear. It as interesting as one of the interesting things is always to hear how you come across to others.
Fair enough. You all are certainly an odd collection of people. By the way, Brimstone, as he mentioned that, you are starting to notice as well that the brand is starting to burn.
Rimson just starts looking around.
If you want to go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. Perception 17.
There are a couple of other patrons in the bar, but you're not noticing anyone who stands out in particular.
Mhm.
The only thing that at this current juncture is making you wary is the seemingly invisible people walking around serving drinks and food.
Okay.
But you're not really sure how close whatever presence is setting off the brand is.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel terribly close to you, and you know that this bar is right next to a thoroughfare, so it might be something walking through the street.
Right.
But yes, it is very interesting. So, you both get me a story. I've already got a drink, but that's still part of the deal. What would y'all like? I didn't know if either the other two of you would like to share a story. Some people are more reclusive than others, and I don't want to pry.
Well, since I told multiple stories, could some of my stories count for them?
Make a persuasion check.
Ah!
Rip.
That is
I'll
an
have-
8.
I'll have to think about it, but I can't say yes. 'Cause the deal is that you tell me a story from your life and you get a drink. Oregon, you actually feel as in this like booth type setup you guys are sat around as Sonata sort of like slumps over and just falls asleep against your side.
Nope. That's alright. Like, imagine since it would probably be a little cooler here than what she's been used to from everywhere else, like if Morgan would have just had like a cardigan or something on, she'll just take that off and drape it around Sonata.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh,
Adorable little tyke.
that she is. I'll have some of that soda water.
Of course, coming right up. One of the ladies, come on. Just watches one of them like mocks throwing a serving tray at him and he just chuckles. Of course. Alrighty then. What about you, miss? If you could take your lips away from that bottle for a second.
Another one.
Elsie?
Pardon?
He's asking Failsy what she would want to have as a drink if she was willing to take her lips away from the current bottle.
No, what you got that's good.
Depends. What do your flavor preferences sit along the lines of?
Ever heard of rainbow pears?
He makes a face like you just asked him about a drug, but he not like a I'm gonna call the cops, but more like an interesting face. I've heard of them. So I must warn against their effects for legal reasons. And say that I don't have that in stock for legal reasons. Is that something you might be interested in?
You have to say that, but is it true?
For legal reasons, yes. It is true. Also for literal reasons, yes. Those things can cause horrible hallucinations, especially when distilled into a wine. Rather, fermented into a wine and then distilled into either a brandy or some form of other concoction.
Now I'm more interested.
All right, I'll have to walk back to whip something up for you. But remember, you didn't hear from me and you did not drink it here. He looks at all of you when he says that.
It's not the first time I've had to keep my lips sealed.
Good, good.
What?
All right, then. It's not my place to ask, unless you're willing to tell, in which place I will ask immediately. All right, then. I'll be right back with those drinks. Drunken fails the eyeing the situation with Oregon and Sonata suspiciously.
So we have a bit of time before we have to be on the road again.
At this point, he has walked away.
Yeah. So we have a bit of time before we have to be on the road again. What's everyone's plans to spend this time?
To state it outwardly, you guys know that because you have requested the larger cart, we're told that it would take at least a week before it was gotten back to you. It'd be longer depending on what you would want to procure for its internal compartments.
Oh, I know we need to get passports, from what we were told.
Yes, I need to send a letter about that. I lost my passport in the boat. Actually, that reminds me, I need to send a few letters, actually.
Well, if we're gonna be waiting for a bit to get that new cart, that would be the time to send them.
I don't know if I need a passport.
Trust me. Actually, You're from the desert, which is technically a part of the kingdom, so...
And I guess that depends on if they respect the independence of the Templars. They still fall under jurisdiction.
It also depends if you require official documentation, or if just saying you're from there works.
Bugger, I'll send... guess I'll send some letters as well.
I will actually say, because Dravenche, you've gone through the border before.
Yes.
Actually having the physical passport is incredibly important. Because Failsy is already actually a resident of the Blossom Kingdom, because the Zamodus Temple is technically the capital of the Florgora Desert.
Oh, okay.
Even though the desert in of itself is kind of a weird thing, where it's its own independent part, but still under the jurisdiction of the Thraik Empire, which is the Blossom Kingdom. Because she is actually a resident of there, the border would recognize her and let her walk through without issue.
Now, for a resident, it's not mandatory to have a passport. It does make things easier, but as long as they've got documentation of you, you should be fine. And they have documentation of me, so I should be able to get through no problem. It'll just take a while. But the rest of you, we're gonna need to get you some papers.
Rest of our companions as well.
That is correct. Talk of paper aside, Brimstone, you know this place better than the rest of us. Any good places to hang out and visit? Good sights to see?
I mean, last time I was here for any extended period of time was a while ago, and I really didn't go many places.
Yeah, your previous experience was mostly in the Bastion itself.
Mm-hmm.
No, my ring. I dropped it.
I mean,
If you wanna make a history roll, we can see
okay.
you might be aware of, but it will be a disadvantage for obvious Brimstone reasons.
Yeah, that's fair. 5. I don't know. I know one place, and Brimstone's not going to say that.
Yeah, you know of the Bastion. That's the only one you feel like talking about. And it's not really a place to have fun.
Yeah. I mean, last time I was here for an extended period of time, it was mostly in the Bastion. There aren't exactly many places to have fun there. It's all official business. I don't know what's actually out in the city.
Well, there was one avenue to have fun, but that's besides the point.
I
At
don't
this point,
know.
one of the servers comes over and sets in front of all of you a glass that has both ice in it and this weird, bubbly, clear liquid in it.
Ah. Thank you very much. It's been a long time since I've had this.
Server just nods to you and walks away.
When here's a question. When would have been the last time Da Vinci would have had this? Would it have been in Tezverel or in the Blossom Kingdom?
It would have been the Blossom Kingdom because it would have been with his last client.
Okay.
Yeah, if it was from Tezverel, Brimstone would also know of it. Presumably.
It's less regionally where you would have tried it and more how much wealth you have.
That's also fair.
Yeah, when was the last time he was in high enough standing company to have this?
Safe to drink bubbly water is an expensive product to produce.
Revenge is used to having high class clientele, and now he's grubbing it in the muck with us.
Pretty much.
He's had his ups and downs.
Full and metaphorical.
Yes.
So, what exactly is this?
This is soda water. It's a very unique experience.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to say this, but when they brought you out the tray that had the soda waters on it, there's also a small bowl, various citrus fruits, and a small knife.
And what you do is you can take one of these fruits, mix the juice in with your drink, and have a very lovely fruity beverage that has a pop to it.
So why is the water pissed off?
Yeah, it looks like it's boiling.
Honestly, I don't know how, but it's cold water and it bubbles as if it's boiling.
Brimstone narrows his eyes and looks at Dravinche.
Yeah, for everyone except for Dravinche, it's the weirdest looking thing because it clearly has chunks of ice in it, which is in of itself a weird thing to see. Magically speaking, ice is easier to create, but for food prep purposes, it's not super common. And then the water itself is like roiling as if it were to be simmering in a pot. Yet it has ice in it, which is cold.
Da Vinci is going to grab one of the fruits, like an orange or something.
The specific selection that are presented before you are oranges, both of a small and a large variety. You're not sure the difference of them at a glance. Lemons, limes, and then a single, really bizarre-looking pear.
Brimstone takes the whole lime.
I cast Identify on the cursed-looking drink.
You cast Identify in the cursed-looking drink. It's not magical at all.
She casts Identify drunkenly.
Your fingers wobble as you form the incantation lines. You cast the spell. You're pretty sure it failed because you're not getting any magical indication off of this drink.
Or she
Clearly should be magical.
Just take one of the fruits like this.
You do recognize the pear, by the way.
I take the pear.
Make a deep slice into it, and he just starts extracting the juice into the soda water.
You give it a good squeeze.
Mix and cheers.
Who is typing?
I sleight of hand to drunkenly cut a pear. Expertly.
Well, you are drunk, so it'd be at disadvantage.
12.
You don't slice your hand open.
Fails, he thinks
Pear
she's
is
doing
open.
an expert job.
Yeah, in your brain, you're just like, so slowly, so perfectly. Precision of assertion. In real life, you're doing that, but it's completely unnecessary.
She's like cut it in like 5 different places.
No, you all just watch.
It's like when you're drunk and you need to cut something, so you're being extra super careful.
You guys just watch as it takes her like a full minute to do the first incision.
I'm just picturing Failsy going, I did it! I extracted the seed! Wait, what was I doing?
Interesting enough, doesn't have a seed. It's called a pear, but it does not have a pit.
That's not a cactus.
Exactly. Although it is actually like a more traditional pear-like shape. It's not the weird bulbousy thing that you get off of cactuses. Yeah. You so slowly cut it open, hold it over your glass, give it the squeeze, and the weird, vibrantly colored, very generous amount of juice that comes out of it almost makes your glass overflow. Because rainbow pears have a ton of water in them.
I mean, that makes sense.
I must have misunderstood something earlier. I thought only Da Vinci was brought a cup of soda water. Sorry.
Oh, they brought out all of you one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Da Vinci ordered it, but we all got one.
Yeah. Even with the poor persuasion roll, he was just like, yeah, I'll give him something. We'll give that one drugs and see what she does. I bet it'll be funny.
I mean, yeah.
Morgan's just looking at what's going on. Just because she's curious, she's going to take a sip of the soda water plain before adding any fruit to it.
You know what plain tonic, or not tonic, but you know what plain seltzer water tastes like?
Yeah.
Kind of bitter because of carbonic acid.
And the quinine.
That's tonic water. This is just seltzer water.
Well, I've had plain tonic water as well, so I got them confused. My apologies.
Oh, good. It's very similar flavor, but the bitterness would be majorly cut down. Just sort of, much like Brimstone said, pissed off water. It's like it bites your tongue a little bit.
Yeah, she takes a sip and then just puts it down and stares at it and just very quietly, bit me.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Is there more than one lime in this bowl?
You've picked up one already, but yes, there is more than one.
Okay, no, because Brimstone just starts eating the one he picked up.
You're just taking bites out of it?
Yeah, like he peels it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was just fully expecting him to just bite through the peel and everything and just eat.
No.
I would not put it past him.
He's not like TikTokers who eat lemons like they're apples.
This is a good way to eat a lemon. Lemon good. Eat rind. Good for you.
Yeah, he's just eating the lime. Just like, I don't care about the water. I just want the lime. Fuck this.
I mean, yeah, you can peel it. It's a very juicy lime. Like, bizarrely juicy.
Yeah, just... That's a good lime.
It's like nice and bitterly sour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have the walking time bomb. Accurate.
But
it'll be fun.
Yeah, but after Morrigan tries it plain, she'll just grab a lemon or something and squeeze some lemon in it.
You do so. Get yourself a nice bubbly lemon drink. It's like a lemon LaCroix, but the smell is not just a smell; it is also the taste.
So
it is not ghost. It is not ghost of lemon.
So it'd be closer in flavor to a San Pellegrino then.
Yeah. Not sweet at all because it doesn't have any sugar in it. It's pretty good.
Bruh, if you go sugar-free for as long as I've been trying to, and then you have something that's lemon flavored without a whole lot of sugar, it still tastes sweet because of the natural sugar from the lemon.
Yeah.
I just like eating lemons. It just tastes sour to me because I like sour.
Fair.
That's the part of the lemon I seek out. Alright, but yeah. You do that, it definitely, because of the having to stir it in and everything, it calms down the angry water some. So when you go to take a drink of it, it doesn't quite bite you as hard the second time. Stone just is leaving the water completely alone.
Yeah, he's just eating fucking lime.
Just eating limes.
Basically.
It's like 3 limes.
Yeah! Well, yeah, he eats the first one and is like, wait. Oh, right, you're supposed to put him in that.
Just Vinci giving him the look of, like, I just showed you and you're...
What? I like fucking limes, okay? Ooh, wait. I like limes.
I was about to say phrasing.
Phrasing.
Look.
Sonata is luckily asleep.
As this has been going on, has the brand changed in any noticeable way?
It started to grow cold again.
Look, I was distracted.
It's staying as hot as it does when there's something like even remotely near you.
Okay.
But it's not close to you at all anymore.
Okay, so I would be aware that it has moved away from...
You do get the sense whatever it was probably like either in an alley or like walking along the street.
Mm-hmm.
It just,
and I don't have any indication of necessarily how powerful the entity was, just that it was present.
Yeah, the brand doesn't really give you an indication of power, it's more of an indication of proximity.
Mm-hmm. I was distracted.
It never... Yeah.
Yeah. I forget, does Bliss activate the brand?
Yes, but not nearly to the level... Like, she activates it in the same way that a tiefling does.
Okay. So
except for when she's in her true form,
which she wouldn't be walking around in.
Don't think so, at least.
Brimstone would have enough faith in her that she wouldn't draw attention to herself like that. She might, though.
Who knows? Pretty sure that's not the case, though.
Something's walking around out there.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Brand starts burning me when there's something like it. There's some kind of fiends around.
Fiends in the capital?
You know it's not as unlikely as it might seem, Brimstone.
Yeah, I'm well aware that it's not, considering what I had to help Bliss with. Just... Yeah, and I don't think anything terribly strong or terribly smart's lurking around. Anything smart enough would realize it's probably a bad idea, and anything terribly strong, they'd figure it out. And ain't a tiefling.
Was that Filzy?
It's like, damn right, I'm here now.
At this point, Failsy, the juice is starting to overflow the glass.
Yeah.
Basil, you might want to drink some of that before it just spills all over.
Oh, right. It's pretty.
Yeah, going?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Failsy, the weirdest thing happens. Like, liquid that's inside of it, when you, like, are squeezing it out, it's like this sort of bright purple color. But as it gets into the glass itself, it, like, turns to, like, a vibrant pink color for some reason.
Ooh,
Once it starts mixing with the, like, as it mixes with the water and, like, drifts down further into it, it starts changing color.
Have I made a rainbow in the glass?
It's not a rainbow. It's going from, like, the like, deep purple, like, deep bright purple color that's the actual fruit's juice. As it's mixing with the water, it's turning pink.
Oh, like kind of like butterfly pea flower tea. It's a tea that starts blue and turns pink.
Natural pH tester.
Well, I don't think Fauzi knows what a pH is.
Probably not. Even though you deal with acid coming out of your face a lot. You know acid burn.
But it doesn't burn Failsy as much for reasons. I mean, it does.
Anywho.
Well,
It's a good burn for Failsy.
time to drink the pink.
Alright.
Picture Failsy just knocked her back.
Right. Ezzy, you put the glass to your lips. The bubbles are everywhere. It's all bubble all day. And I'm gonna roll something.
This water is angry.
Failsy's drinking a bubble. At least in her mind.
Alright.
Brimstone was right. This water is angry.
This water Angie.
I have to get a table pulled up.
Oh no.
I, for some reason, didn't suspect that these would come up today, so didn't have this already loaded.
Calling it angry is a very common reaction to when you first have it.
It tickles the nose when you drink it.
Brimstone just grabs an orange, a lemon, and a lime, and just starts squeezing it.
Oh
all of
no!
them together.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Oh no.
You all watch as Failsy drinks the liquid and then vanishes.
yeah. So Brimstone just. Where'd Failsy go?
Where?
Oh.
Like the glass is still floating in the air, but Failsy vanished.
Is she invisible?
Probably. I mean, considering she's not, but she's holding the glass, which is still there.
Failsy, can you hear us and talk to us?
Failsy, you can produce no sound right now. could still hear, but your body cannot produce sound right now.
So if she's talking, we can't even hear her.
Can I knock the table, or is that still not producing sound?
Oh, you like go to hit the table. It doesn't make any sound when you hit the table.
That is also.
Put the glass down if you can hear us.
No, this is my tasty drink.
You see the glass gesture towards you slightly.
I think she can hear us.
After about a minute, she pops back.
Okay. That was concerning.
I wish my invisibility could do that. That would make things a lot easier.
You can do that.
Turn invisible, yeah.
Everyone just stares at Brimstone.
Oh, Morgan, knowing that it's just like different tiefling, he should be like, all I can do is make people burn if they get too close, if they hurt me once a day.
Actually, not a guarantee Morgan would know that, because there aren't a whole lot of different tieflings in terms of knowing their abilities.
I assume with her having traveled some, she might have talked to other tieflings and, you know, bog standard like herself.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Elsie isn't even thinking of racial abilities like, you're a wizard.
She's drunk. Alrighty then. Sorry about that taking so long.
No.
Oh, no worries.
Had a weird you just tried soda water for the first time, so I can't really blame you. How did everyone like it?
I haven't gotten that far yet. Give me a minute. Lime, lemon, orange, all together.
Just a slit in each one and just goes.
Pretty much.
Alright. The water turns kind of a brown color because you mix green and orange together.
That's fine.
It's green, orange, and yellow together. You get brown.
Yeah, aesthetics doesn't matter.
Yeah. Give it a mix up. Take a sip. Citrus. Bubble. So at this point, yours is a lot less bubbly than everyone else enjoyed it as being, because you let it set for so long.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you're not really sure what everyone was complaining about it being super bubbly, because yours is like, pleasantly bubbly.
Okay, that ain't bad.
It shouldn't be too bad. I know it's a little bit of a new experience for a lot of people, but I find that most people tend to enjoy it when they decide to try it for the first time.
Also, does anyone want the last lime? Because if not, I'm going to eat it.
Go right on ahead.
Mine.
Insert into mouth.
Pretty
Like,
much. Hey, man. Tesverell probably has a lot of citrus. Oh, no, wait.
Technically,
they're
yeah,
really,
they do. Actually do, because they own the Starcrest Isles.
Yeah. Yeah, like maybe, yeah, not Tesverell proper, but the Starcrest. That makes sense.
They get shipments of them frequently enough.
Also, you know, in the army, it's a good way to prevent scurvy by eating citrus.
Mostly limes.
Yeah.
And the thing about Tesverell is that there are a lot of fruits and some meats and a lot of fish, but next to no grain. Grain is really hard to grow there.
Except for rice.
Even rice doesn't grow super well. It's just the only grain that will grow there.
It's the only grain that can be coerced into growing.
It doesn't help when the water on that island naturally will start boiling if left exposed for too long.
Fair.
Good thing you guys aren't traveling back through there through boat right now. Right then. Yeah. I'm glad to hear it. So, you, my dear madam, you requested this, and of course I did not provide you it. And he sets a small shot glass down in front of you.
In front of Failsy.
In front of Failsy.
Is it also pink?
No, this is doing, like, weird color changing bullshit in front of you.
Then wait, what was that she just had?
That's what the fruit is whenever you have it in its natural juiced form. This is what happens when you distill it into a brandy.
I'm about to drink a rainbow.
I don't know if that's gonna make it better or worse.
It has a very unique flavor, and the taste of it changes to every single person that tries it.
Uh-huh.
I'll be honest, if you all would like to try a shot, it's one of those things where I like offering it to everyone. I just want to make sure you know that there's inherently a risk involved. Offered to adventurers, I should say, not everyone.
Morgan looks to the sleeping Sonata next to her and goes, I think at least one of us ought to stay sober tonight.
I'll be perfectly honest with you. It also has a potential chance of completely sobering you up. It's really weird.
Well, I'll pass all the same.
I think I'm gonna hold off until she drinks it just to see what happens.
He just looks at you, Failsy. You've got this small shot in front of you.
Failsy drinks the rainbow.
Right then.
She's just like a 3-year-old. Just rainbow, rainbow, rainbow.
I would like for you to roll for me 1d20, then 1d100.
1.
D20, 11,
Right
and a
then.
D100. Is this Failsy casting wild magic on her face?
Stuff happens. We'll see.
78.
Some of the options don't work with these. Also, it helps determine what the flavor is. Ooh, the flavor for Failsy this time might not be something she's super interested in. Failsy, when you pop this shot into your mouth, it immediately hits you as being incredibly bitter. Like, a citrus note, but the taste is super bitter.
I don't know any.
Have you ever had Earl Grey tea?
Yes.
Is distinctly akin to that flavor.
Oh.
What is this, tea?
I know what citrus he's referring to. It's bergamot.
Bergamot is a bitter citrus fruit used to flavor Earl Grey tea. And it does actually cause you to lower your inebriation state and gain proficiency in wisdom checks for the next hour.
In wisdom checks?
Yes, I have to check to see which exact wisdom check this particular example is going to give you. Sorry about that. Random magic is fun.
Yay. I go, it tastes like tea, and it knocks her sober.
Yeah, that was a coincidental thing.
Yeah. So she's like halfway to just blackout, and just
Immediately sober again.
Alright, I'm back.
damn it.
And it gave you proficiency with perception for the next hour.
No.
Oh, hey, look, Fazzy has a 14 now. 14 passive for the next hour.
Well, if everyone else is not, I'm always open to trying out new things.
I just want to make sure Failsy wasn't going to fucking explode first.
I will not lie. I don't know if that's not an option.
I mean, fair.
I feel like every single time I've seen someone drink this, it is presented before me a completely different thing.
But if any one of us was liable to explode, it would be her.
To know. Note to self, give her no more. What about the rest of you? Anyone else want to try it? I know you said you did.
Fuck it.
Come
Right
on,
then.
Brimstone.
Oh,
Rain the rainbow.
I'll
ma'am?
pass.
I can guarantee you that this will not get you blitzed immediately.
I would just rather keep my mind about me this evening.
I mean, somehow
Fair
it not
enough.
fails you. Sober.
Yes, it does have that ability. It's not particularly alcoholic to begin with. I mean, it's brandy, and it's only a shot. We'll have that for a nightcap so they can go to sleep easier.
Go on, Morrigan. I'm sober now.
Again, I won't force you, though. I'm just offering.
She doesn't need the pressure.
Alright, then. So, he procures from behind him very quickly this unlabeled bottle. It just is like a dark black glass wine bottle. And just very quickly pours for both of you another shot. Alright then. Stay on hand to make sure nothing bad happens.
Brimstone waits for it to settle into a green color before he drinks it.
It's never a single solid color.
Oh, but like close enough.
There are a couple points where it stays,
Like, yeah,
stays
it'll,
green for a
like,
few seconds.
yeah, greenish is fine.
Alright. So
And then-
if you were going to drink it, I need you both to roll a d20 and then a d100. You
Okay.
could, if Brimstone, you could do it first.
Okay. Eight,
All right.
8 on the table and then a 40.
Then Ahmed. I look up Brimstone's result.
Okay, just a second. 10 and 75. Actually,
10 and
pretty
75.
close to failsy. Huh.
Huh?
10. Okay, so I'm gonna do Brimstone's first.
Mhm.
Brimstone, you wait for it to turn to a sort of green color, and you get a couple of different greens, but they don't stay for long enough. First time you're able to react in time to drink it while it's still green. It's like this almost sort of neon green, terribly dissimilar from your own skin tone.
Mm-hmm.
And it immediately tastes like a flavor you cannot physically describe, but to our taste buds as humans in the real world, it's like the most aggressive of sour green apple candy flavors.
Oh, so it's just really sour.
It's like it's a flavor that Brimstone would never have experienced because that's not a flavor that would exist in this time period.
That's fair.
I mean, like the artificial candy flavor.
Ah, like Warheads.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck yeah. Brimstone's into it.
It's the most bizarre thing. It's just that it's not a flavor he could describe to anyone.
Yeah, just gonna.
Just watching Brimstone's face cave in on itself.
What
Yeah.
else are you thinking while watching that?
Okay.
And also, you can hear the surface level thoughts of everyone around you for the next minute.
Oh god. So immediately he's just like,
Immediately, it's just like, huh, that's pretty good. The fuck is happening? You could just hear what everyone's thinking.
okay.
All right, and let's see what Da Vinci got.
Da Vinci explodes. Bring on the you died message.
Okay. Oh, unfortunately, this is not a. The other ones were like, "Yeah, this is kind of cool. This is not a very good one."
Uh-oh.
Fun.
It has a taste that's not dissimilar to having... This way to describe it is it's not a taste dissimilar to having blood in your mouth. Sort of like coppery taste.
Delicious
It's not-
iron.
Yeah, it's not a terrible flavor, but it's not what you were expecting at all. It's like it ends up tasting akin to like a very like bloody stew broth. Which again, you weren't expecting at all from it. It's like that copper taste in your mouth is kind of like getting to you a little bit. Then you start getting like this sort of ringing sensation in one of your ears. Like a little bit like a tinnitus.
Tinnitus.
Tinnitus, that's the word. Tennisitis. You can't stop playing tennis. Oh, but like tinnitus.
Gross.
Just that little bit of ringing in your ear.
Like, for the first time after having various strong drinks, this is the first time he actually, like, recoils back from a drink.
Ooh, you got a bad one. Sorry for that.
And then he starts kind of shaking his head around back and forth, like you end up with that little ring in your ears. You try to, like, shake whatever water is stopping it or something out. Just shakes his head a little. Oh,
Yes.
that's definitely a different experience.
None of you got the particularly drastic effects, it seems. It fades after about a minute.
I appreciate the flavor, but I don't appreciate the whispers in my head part. That's really
Again,
fucking...
the same minute later, they stop.
And now they're gone. Okay, we're good.
Because both of you simultaneously drank the water at the... Oh, the water. Brandy. That means you would have also heard the ringing in Dravince's head.
That's not...
And you both had to suffer it.
It's not anything necessarily new to Brimstone, though.
Yeah, he fires guns a lot. He would have tinnitus like
yeah,
crazy.
Brimstone, yeah. He has, at the very least, a minor case.
Not only the fact that he fires guns, but he's also a war veteran, so...
Exactly, yeah, like, because he was in the war. Fireballs aren't quiet either.
Myth, do you want me to PM you what would have been the surface level thought coming from Morrigan?
Brimstone probably wouldn't, like you can, just Brimstone wasn't necessarily actively been paying attention.
Okay.
Trying to ignore it because it's weird.
Hey, that's fair. I just figured I'd ask in case you wanted.
No.
I will...
It was more of a,
You should go ahead and... This is me as the DM saying this. You should go ahead and send it to him because he really wouldn't have been able to ignore it. Because you guys are right next to him.
Yeah, it was Brimstone like trying to ignore it, but since it's a telepathic communication rather than him literally hearing it, like he wouldn't have had a choice.
Okay.
Alright, so we had two good-ish ones, and then a clearly not very good one. I'm sorry for that.
Oh, no worry. I knew there was a risk, but it's still at least an interesting experience.
I like offering it to people because, one, it's not really that alcoholic to begin with, and two, because it's always interesting to see what it does. Again, it is technically a controlled... It's technically... I shouldn't say a controlled substance, but it's technically a legal substance due to the fact that apparently it does have some potentially volatile consequences. But this bar is protected from such things, so it wouldn't have been a problem even if you did have that particular type of circumstance.
That does bring up a question, if you don't mind talking about it.
Told me stories, I'm perfectly fine telling you stories.
How did you end up with this bar and it's a very peculiar staff?
Well, here's the lovely thing you'll ever learn when you come to eventually become either a business or a homeowner. Sometimes when a property is very cheap, there's a reason for that. Sometimes that reason is being haunted by ghosts. But if you're nice to them, you help them. Sometimes those ghosts will end up working for you.
Oh.
They're bored and they don't have anything else to do, and for some reason they're stuck here. Want something to do, and you're nice to them, so they're just like, we'll help you out. Of course, you have to be able to see ghosts to begin with to be able to really make advantage of that, and I happen to be able to be one capable of that.
That's very interesting.
So I got this property for cheap, and I got free workforces out of it as well. So truth be told, I got a steal.
Got lucky by the sounds of it as well.
Exactly. Don't get me wrong, even if they hadn't been willing to work for me, I would have helped them move on to the other side by finding some means of what's keeping them here, but none of them seemed particularly interested in that either. They just seemed bored. Which, to be fair, I can't fault them. I think we all have that point in our lives, or unlives, where we just decide we want something new.
All spirits are different.
Of course. So I think they like the outfits. They each get to pick out their own outfit. Interesting. As part of it is like every time you've seen someone walk past you, they are in a completely different outfit. Of the probably about 4 servers you've seen walking about, each one is wearing a different outfit.
Alrighty.
Yes. I'm glad you all got to try it. At least I'd look forward to potential patronage again, though a look on your face is like you have some business to take care of. If you have any questions, because again, none of you are from town, so I figure I might be able to help you out a little bit.
Well, I guess the first thing to ask is, do you have any local places that you would recommend visiting?
Pins, what's your goal?
It's always good to visit places that provide either excellent sights or let you learn a bit of history of the location.
Alright, alright. History of the location and interesting sights. If you're looking for either of those things, there's the Central Plaza in town. It's also where the cathedral erected for Granum and his worship, which, if you ask me, is a little bit weird considering he's not really the type of person, from what I've experienced, who likes to be worshipped, but people do as they do. You didn't hear that from me.
I'm sorry,
Praise
what?
be unto... Just like looks around, just like, praise be unto Granum and all of his holy names and children.
I can hear him groaning.
I've seen him at some public appearances, and to be perfectly honest, he seems like he hates the whole thing. Still, though, that is definitely a good one. There's a couple of placards there also devoted to various soldiers who have lost their lives in the war efforts. It's more of a dour thing, but that's it. It is an interesting thing to see the monuments erected to them. There's also the Revenant Regimen monument. A lot of things in the Central Plaza. I think you'll definitely enjoy seeing that. If you go out the main road here, then just go straight down the thoroughfare till you get to the intersecting thoroughfare, then go straight eastward. Find it. It's pretty easy to get to. There's a massive fountain in the middle of it. There's the massive steeple over there that you'll be able to see from pretty far away. I think you'll like it. Other places of note, though. He sort of, like, specifically looks at you, Dravinche, with, like, a very, like, acknowledging narrowed eye. There's also a house of knightly favors not too far from here that might be of your fancy. Which I don't just say for the reasons you might expect. It is actually a long-standing historical building with a lot of history to it. It was one of the first buildings constructed in Greydon proper when the Bastion was erected and the whole city was built around it. And it has been built up and up over the many, many years since we've continued expanding our land.
I mean, that is one of the motivations that can get people to move damn near anywhere.
You're not wrong. History's oldest profession, as they say.
Mm-hmm. One of them.
Yes. So, that is also an interesting location, and it is not solely that purpose. It is also a massage parlor and just in general a place of rest and enjoyment. Think of it more like akin to a high-end resting establishment. What's the word for that? You both look like you're from Tezrael. There's a fancy word they use for the hotel. That's the word.
Okay.
It might be worth dropping by there.
Of course. Other than that, there's the Bastion itself, which I don't know if you'd be able to get access to right now. Tensions have been kind of tough lately, but it has a lot of historical things in there. There is a museum on the other side of town, though I feel like you would probably have to ask for directions once you get to the north side of town. The type of thing where if I give you directions from here, you might get lost on the way there.
Yeah,
There are plenty of places you can ask around, especially if you go to the Central Plaza. You can get yourself to any place in the city from the Central Plaza. So, in terms of sightseeing and historical learning, those are the places that come to right away that the public have access to.
That's all good to know. Thank you.
Of course. What kind of tavern owner would I be if I'm not giving people the interesting sights, sounds, and scoops of the city I live in? Downright terrible tavern owner, if you ask me.
Or one that has different priorities.
Yeah. Terrible tavern owner. Stories, experiences, drinks, and good food should be the sole responsibility of every tavern owner. Anything else or less than that, might as well just be running a bar. Anyways.
How about archives or libraries? Anything like that around you?
There is, if you're a bit more of a higher standing. Unfortunately, that's not really something that the public has access to. There's the Emerald Archive near the base of the Bastion's raised platform. But that's not really something you can just walk into. You sort of need to make an appointment with the officials there and then get in through more... What's the word?
Official channels.
Official channels, yes, but for you have to have a scholarly documentation to prove that you have right there. It is the oldest library in all of Greynham, so you have to be a certain level of person to be able to go in.
I think I'm just right for that kind of job.
He looks over to you and the fact that there's a half-empty bottle of scotch in front of you.
And I forget what clothes fails he's in, because I think she's just in her normal clothes.
So right now, I don't think you're still wearing Bloodborne attire.
No.
Yeah, so she's in her normal clothes.
Her tube top, short skirt, half bottle of scotch, and 2 forms of drug in front of you.
Don't let appearances as you see normally dissuade you. Failsy's actually quite the smart woman.
We'll make sure that she sobers up before she tries it.
I think she is sober.
I'm sober now.
Yeah.
Like I said, that shot can do some things to you if you're already drunk. It's also considered completely illegal whenever it comes to drinking competitions, because it has the ability to make you either pass out immediately from alcohol inebriation, or immediately sober up to a completely standard state, as if you'd been drinking water the whole time.
I can see why that would be illegal for a drinking competition. Quite a few dwarves I know who wouldn't have liked that. They'd call you being a poor sport.
Of course. Heaven or hell type situation. I don't know what either of those things are, but I'm using it for a comparison as a DM. What's a DM? Anyways. Yes. If you're looking more for places of recreation or just general enjoyment, there are some locations like that, obviously. I told you the brothel. That's something if you're interested in, though I would not recommend taking the little one.
Yeah, not particularly.
I think we're probably going to be taking her back to her mother after this. She's just out of it.
Fair enough. Still, the Central Plaza is a good place to visit, for also just purely for recreational purposes, just because it's a very beautiful location, if you ask me. Which, I'm pretty good authority on that. There is a fighting arena towards the southern edge of town, if you're interested in that sort of thing. Let you potentially earn a bit of coin, or just view some gladiatorial and otherwise combat situations. And you obviously have the book thing you're looking into. I've told you about that already. It's not really a recreational thing, but for some people I understand the desire. There's a new thing that recently cropped up, is that over in the over towards the more market district, there are quite a few delicious eateries, which I love to toot my own horn, but they have me beat in several aspects, if a bit more specific than I am. Even there's a new bakery opening up over there that's apparently sweeping the whole place off of its feet. I'd recommend checking that out, but I don't know the name of the establishment because it's opening up. Quite gotten my way over there to check it out yet.
Sounds like you should.
I probably will, but I'm very busy here.
That's fair.
Yeah, and unfortunately my companions, unless you have a specific amount of sense about you, can't speak to anyone but myself.
Yeah, I ain't heard him say a damn word, and, well, I guess time don't run itself, so that makes sense.
Yes. I should probably actually hire some living people, too. That might help liven up the place a little bit. Ha ha! Joke! At this point, you actually hear a clang sound as a tray does get thrown at the back of his head. I know. Don't make the jokes. Couldn't avoid it, that one. Put the tray down! Oh, gosh darn, that actually hurt a lot. It's not the first time it's happened.
Ghost.
You throw a tray at someone's head like it's a frisbee and it's gonna hurt.
You know, I wouldn't have the context to concur with that.
Anytime something heavy and flat gets thrown, it flies for the. It's fine. I'm fine. Still, yes, the Colosseum, that library, if you're into such things and can provide your documentation to be able to go into such places. The market district, if you're a foodie, it's a pretty good place to go to have a good walkthrough. Is almost due east of here as well. Terribly far away from where the brothel is, if I'm going to be honest. A little bit different type of location, but in the same direction. There is also a trying to remember the name of the location. It's also fairly new, but there is a small fair that's set up further all the way on the eastern border of the town. It's typically a internal plantation we have inside the town, but right now it's set up to be a fair. I think they're just now setting up, so if you wait a couple of days, they should actually be into the swing of things.
Sounds like something Sonata would enjoy.
Assuming Sonata's the little one.
Yes.
Then yes, probably. It's actually being set up by one of Ignesia's children.
Huh.
I don't remember the Asimav's name off the top of my head, but she is the Asimov of Merriment. So, not too surprising. Because there's a holiday celebration coming up, so we're trying to get things a bit more festive. He tends to oversee things a lot as that type of situation's getting set up in these larger cities. I've never been particularly involved myself because I tend to be very busy when they happen.
I would imagine.
There are a lot of travelers from the few small settlements outside of the city that there are.
Hmm.
Those are the places that come to mind right away that you wayward travelers might find interesting, enjoyable, or useful as a historical venture. There's a lot of little places, but unfortunately I don't know if that would tickle the fancy of people who have been well-traveled. And in those cases, I would just recommend you wander about, get lost a little bit, and you'll find some interesting things.
That's fair.
Especially if you get lost.
Mm.
Oh. I believe I've heard that before.
And you've met her. Either way. Still. That's my recommendations. I don't know if anyone wrote down any of those.
Not really.
Alright,
Not wrote down, but I remember like half of them.
The basic things were, because you guys are not terribly far from the center of the city right now. Wait, I was saying east. I meant west. I got the position of the city mixed up.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you guys are on the eastern side of the city right now, just off center from the center. The actual, like, far eastern side is where the Emerald Bastion itself is. So I hate my brain and my mouth right now. They are not working together. I can't form the word. Book place.
Library.
Archive.
Yeah, the Emerald Archive. That's the word I was trying to remember. Yeah, the Emerald Archive is actually just off of that main platform where the Emerald Bastion is. So it's in the eastern side of the city. The fair that's currently being set up is on the far western side of the city, actually close to one of the border houses. The gatehouses, I should say.
And what's the name of the festival/fair?
He didn't know it, because he apparently has never actually gotten a chance to go to it.
Ah.
He doesn't specifically know what it's being called right now. Because apparently it's being... I'd have to look up the actual holiday that's being celebrated right now, or about to be celebrated.
Considering the
It
time of
changes
year
the
and
holiday.
considering time of year and what we've discussed previously, it might be getting close to the one that also coincides with Morgan's birthday.
We are definitely getting close to that, but I believe that's actually next month.
Okay.
Alright, it's up the days. Come on, calendar load.
Well, actually, since it's almost 10 o'clock, do you think it would be a good time for us to just take bio break?
Let's take a bio break as I get everything organized.
Alrighty.
So, to continue laying things out while those who have to step away are stepping away. There's the Colosseum to the far south. The brothel, which is apparently just west of the Central Plaza, which is also a little bit further in that direction, is where the market district is.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, had to pop my fingies.
It's fine.
Then I know I said another one. The Central Plaza itself.
The steeple or the chapel?
Yeah, the steeple. Yes, the chapel that is in the northern side of the city. Pretty much, there's the main thoroughfare of the city, which has a north, south, west, and east road going directly off of it. The chapel is apparently at the far end of the north road leading off the central area of the city.
Does that correlate with the structure that Da Vinci was looking at before?
You'd have to get outside and look. As you were looking at it from on the big raised platform on the far east side of the city, so it kind of one of those weird things where you've never been to the city before. You have to like properly reorientate yourself. It seems likely because that did look like a giant church. That had a clock tower. Seems like the only other building that would be big enough to house it. Yeah, you're not totally certain.
Okay.
But yeah, we're on bio break, so anyone who needs to bio break, go bio break, break your heart.
Might get some more tea going on.
You're only gonna break your heart. Only gonna break your heart. Okay, this is interesting.
Who?
I'm just looking at stuff that I've written down for things you can find in a city.
Yee. So this is something weird that I just found. Someone made a thing where you play Terraria, but it's in first person.
That sounds...
And it looks as dysfunctional as you would think.
You just see dirt all the time? Or wouldn't it just be like a straight line in front of you? I gotta watch.
Yes.
sounds horrible.
Anyone who's listening and curious, just Google or YouTube Terraria, but it's in first person, kinda. And you should be able to find it. It is... doesn't look good.
That's not as bad as I was expecting. I was expecting it to literally just be like a singular pixel-wide straight line, like how the guide there is.
It's still not good.
It's still pretty bad.
I don't like that. I don't like it.
How do you work up the renders in a way to actually make that work?
Mm.
It's also weird that your character's nose and front and arm is the only thing of your character you can see.
Yeah.
Turn.
Make some bake.
So weird. It's like I expected to just turn into Minecraft at any second. I don't like that. That's like looking into a parallel reality that doesn't quite work. Glitched parallel reality.
You're not entirely wrong.
Then I was probably going to end up going longer than I anticipated to because I spent too long letting you guys talk to our man. I like when I expose you all to new drugs. I mean experiences. I mean drugs.
It's Minecraft.
Except it's like not right Minecraft. Minecraft, but it's wrong.
Yeah, that's an apt way to put it.
Also, they just ripped the calming Minecraft music.
Yeah, in terms of spending time, I immediately thought you were going to jump into after we've spent time.
I had
we're
to give,
just leaving.
yes, but I also needed to give you the avenue to actually learn about what's in the city.
Yeah, because none of us knew about it.
That is fair.
Yeah, like you sent me stuff like to ask about specific things. I'm just like, it's not really a thing you could find very easily just on your own.
Yeah, Faz is gunning for the archive.
Yeah.
The rest of the party holding her back, going, "Tomorrow, you can go tomorrow."
You guys are
Actually,
getting
no.
pretty close to the end of today. It's like getting into the late afternoon at this point. So anything you guys do from this point, probably need to find a place to sleep. Unless you want to try to stay in the Emerald Bastion.
It Emerald Bastion a military garrison?
Emerald Bastion is the castle that is the castle of this kingdom.
So we
It
can
is
either
also a military garrison, but it's places where people can sleep.
So we could either try to seek out the possibility of getting a noble's quarters or a guest quarters in the castle, sleep in military barracks, as Brimstone might be want to do. I don't know if the cart is available during this time. Probably.
No, it wouldn't be.
It would
Okay,
have to be retrofitted.
Well, no, it's just the fact that it got returned.
Yeah,
It's
that's also
damaged.
fair. Yeah, that makes sense.
Or go to
Really lucky that it didn't explode.
or go to find a inn or hotel like the one place that one brothel, hotel, massage parlor, etc. place that William mentioned.
It specifically it is a hotel. He's not gonna beat around the bush and tell you that it's not also a brothel.
Yeah.
You're adventurers, he knows what adventurers like.
After spending potentially weeks or months with no human contact other than the 4 people around you, it's very understandable that you'd want some private time.
Yeah. But yeah.
Are we still waiting on Danny?
I'm
Danny
gonna
is
actually
back.
step away so I
Oh, okay.
you guys relay what I told you guys about the position stuff to her, and I'm going to go use bathroom.
Sorry.
I'm just going to grab some hot water.
I wasn't here for what was being said, so I have no idea. I'm really paying attention.
Is the bathroom open?
What was the last thing he said? I might be able to fill in the gaps.
Explain what he was saying before Danny got back, because I have no idea what the fuck was being said.
We were talking about places to go. Where there's a fair going on, there's the Coliseum, there's a hotel that also doubles as a brothel and massage parlor, etc. There's the chapel on the north side of the city, there's the Emerald Bastion, which has the Emerald Archive inside of it. For staying the night, we have the options of potentially staying in military barracks, potentially staying in some guest quarters in the Emerald Bastion, or seeking out external lodging, such as going to said hotel.
Okay.
The cart, due to 1, it being damaged, and 2, it being returned to acquire a larger cart, is not available as of right now.
Okay.
So we'll probably end up going back to the Emerald Bastion, find Lee. Trying to find their names in my notes.
Cadence and Lionel.
Yeah, Cadence.
Yeah. find Lee, Cadence, and Leonel just kind of standing around. As they and all of our personal belongings were politely.
Oh, and Osnick.
Sorry?
And Osnick.
Oh, and Osnick.
I keep forgetting Osnick is there.
I do.
Him quiet boy.
He doesn't speak
doesn't
common
know,
or anything.
Yeah, he doesn't know common. The only one who knows Goblin is Lee.
He starts being able to speak a little bit of common because you guys spent a long time in the Kronos Labyrinth.
Yeah. Like Osnick is, he's not conversational. He can speak basic common. He still has a long way to go, though.
Probably find a tutor somewhere in this place that'd be able to help him a little bit better. As Lee is not a smart boy, he's not a great teacher.
I mean, that's also true.
Long doing it, but you could probably get him to a more comfortable level of not screeching and not screeching scaredness at the averaged moment.
I mean, yeah.
And also, there's a holiday coming up. Hence what the fair is about. So, just in general, we've got a few different places just in the city to go to, on top of the actions that we personally would want to do. I will say, I as character would be interested in going to the Colosseum, or I as player would be interested, but Da Vinci would not participate.
I have things that I want to do, but
His wife.
My wife.
That plays a part in it, yes. But
My
also, new discoveries have come up, and I would like to get to them soon.
Oh yeah, you guys need to know what the holiday coming up is.
Yeah.
I think it's been a while since any of your characters have looked at a calendar.
Yeah.
/ know what time of day or not time of year properly it is.
I mean, yeah. Brimstone doesn't really have an inbuilt sense of time, considering, military engagements don't care about what day of the week it is.
Yeah.
Or what month of the year it is.
Or a little bit about what month of the year it is.
I mean, the most he probably knows is rough ideas of when people's birthdays are, and that's because Keta would not let him forget hers.
Yeah.
And that's like the only birthday he probably actually knows. He probably doesn't even really remember his own.
I don't have it noted down anywhere, so.
Yeah, like the
He
only
never
one.
cared enough to tell me.
Yeah, because I didn't specifically know what our calendar system was when I was making him, and I've never gotten around to it since.
And it's separated up via seasons. Each season has 3 months.
Yeah,
Calendar starts in spring and ends in winter.
I just never got around to doing it. And I mean, it's also fitting for Brimstone to not really remember, because he doesn't see it as significant. Funny thing is, the only person who might actually have an idea is Bliss, and that's because she gets weirdly happy around that time. And now she understands why.
Yeah.
Brimstone's like, I don't really care.
Hey, Morrigan's birthday would actually be just over 3 weeks away. 2 weeks away.
Ah, she'll be turning a year older here soon.
I haven't noted down that her birthday is on the 3rd day of mid-autumn. The 3rd day of Morta.
Yee.
Her birthday also coincides with the middle of the festival that happens at the beginning of Morta.
Yee. Because, like I'd said to you before, it's like her birthday is this world's equivalent of Halloween.
So I just put it in the middle of the week-long festival that is this world's Halloween.
Works for me.
What is the holiday's name? Sorry, I think I missed that.
I don't think it was mentioned yet.
The holiday for Morgan? Or the holiday that's coming up?
Yes.
The holiday that's coming up.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought that was what you were talking about.
No. Oh, 2 different holidays. They're just close to each other.
My apologies.
What is the specific name? Because I don't have my calendar book on me, because I forgot to grab it. I'm having to look through my doc notes for this to find the specific name. Just to let you know, though, it's essentially a harvest close. It's a harvest close festival.
So like an ending of summer, beginning of autumn festival.
Yeah. It is 2 days away.
Alrighty.
Yeah. You guys are on the 4th Elton of early autumn. It is on the 4th Casilla of early autumn.
Okay.
Oh, there's a name. It's called, the holiday specifically is called Gratus's Feast. We'll type that out for you all.
Alrighty. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically a harvest close festival. Once you all actually would be able to find someone who tell you the name of what's coming up, or if you just want to make a general history check, you could try to see which one of y'all know, if any of y'all know about that celebration.
I mean,
Morgan would probably have a bit more advantage towards actually knowing, considering she comes from a farming community.
I can totally make a history check if you want me to.
Yeah. You're trying to think about what holiday is coming up that would be important.
I don't know if
16.
I didn't realize I had advantage. Okay.
Because you come from a farming community.
Yeah, I did say Morgan would have a bit more of an advantage because she comes from a farming community.
Okay. Sorry.
I mean, a bit more advantage because also implied just a lower TC.
Fair enough.
But fair.
It's not a it's not a. Listen, it took a 10 to win anyways, but she still had advantage. Get that spider back on the compass.
I don't think Brimstone would particularly care enough to think about it.
Yeah. Like every time I see that thing move, I'm just like, put it back.
Because you just led with get that spider. I was like, oh god, there's a spider in the room he's in.
I would shout about a spider in the room I was in. I'd just punch it and move on with my life.
Just smear it against the wall.
It'd be your problem later.
Yeah, I know. Hey, that's what cleaner and paper towels is for.
My fist is for. But yeah.
Are we back on stream, or have we
Yes.
Yeah, we're back on
Okay.
stream. I assume we are. Everyone's here. So, Gratis's feast. Gratis specifically is a bit of an older Azamar. Specifically is one of the Azamar of Harvest. Revenant has multiple Azamar devoted to harvest, like good yield and harvests. But Gratis themselves is actually not one of Grainum's Azamar. They are thought to have been, though there is not currently an Azamar for them, they are thought to have been actually an Azamar for Grima.
Considering the connections Morrigan has, it makes even more sense why she'd know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess to harvest is the death of the plant.
You do reap
because
what you
they're-
sow.
That's also true.
It is actually specifically because they are the aspect of the end of a season. It's the end of the life of the end of the fertile life of summer and spring to the beginning of the death of autumn and winter.
Yes.
Azamar, the transition from growth to decay. Kind of.
They are technically one of Grima's Azamar, though as everyone is aware, there is not currently a living Azamar to represent the aspect.
That's fair.
But that is who Gratis was.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. Morgan would also realize it's kind of weird to have a festival devoted to them, just given Grima as a god's general disinterest in celebration. Like, disinterest in public celebration.
Yeah.
It's not terribly uncommon for there still to be festivals devoted to the various aspects of Grima. Like, specifically, the festival at the beginning of Morta is like a big thing devoted to Grima.
Yeah. But like, I guess like after a minute or so of thinking about like doing mental math in her head to figure out what part of the year they're in, she would be like, "Oh, that's what festival this would be."
It's basically Thanksgiving, by the way.
Taking a book from Canada and having Thanksgiving before Halloween. I see.
It makes more sense to put it in this position.
Yeah,
In my calendar.
fair enough.
It's the proper time.
Because on my calendar, it's basically where Thanksgiving falls on the normal calendar, but in terms of actual seasons, it makes more sense.
Yee.
Shut up, America Light. No one cares about you.
Hey!
The LaCroix of America.
Oh, no, wait, no. I'm sorry. You discount Britain and France. The worst of both with the best of neither.
Can we get back on track, please?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Definitely not the worst of both, but fair. Yeah, that's what you know about Gratis.
And
A terrible lot of details, but yeah.
she would relay what she knows about it, especially considering, she comes from a farming community.
You don't exactly know what they would do a big city like this.
But she would at least, the basics and what was done where she's from.
A lot of food. Basically a big hearty meal to rein in the cold that's about to start happening.
Yeah. She had an explanation with, it's basically just an excuse to get together with the community and eat a lot of food and play a bunch of silly games. At least nowadays it is.
Have we neared the end of autumn already?
At the end of the beginning of autumn.
I'm getting towards the middle of it.
Okay, I thought time flew past. And it flew by faster than I thought.
Well, we haven't gotten to my birthday yet, so we're not quite smack dab at the middle.
Broke my chopsticks. Oh. Alright then. So, at this point you all have left the Minutes Lost Tavern.
If
Little
some...
sleepy Sonata just flopped over your shoulder, Morrigan.
Yeah, and she's kind of... Like, you've seen how I carry Niece sometimes, just like that, but asleep.
You should probably grab the others and figure out where we're going to be staying for the time being.
I vote for the brothel.
You want to take a child to a brothel?
It doesn't. It also
don't all-
counts for a hotel.
We also don't all have to be staying in the same place.
Fair enough. Well, we ought to go get the other three first before we make any big decision on that.
Mm-hmm.
So do y'all just want to head straight there?
Head back to the Bastion and pick up everyone else, yeah?
Back at the Bastion. It's not terribly hard to find them again. You find out that they've essentially just been talking to the other residents of the Bastion to pass the time. Apparently getting a decent amount of standing with other people, considering Arya is actually... Or not, Arya. Cadence is actually pretty well versed in actual, like, political conversation. Even though she clearly is out of her depth and uncomfortable, she's managing to maintain these conversations with people that are probably more important than she is. At least in a political spectrum.
Yeah.
So you're able to find them, and she's very thankful to be pulled away from it. Okay. So, what have you all found out? What's going on?
So we'll be staying here for about a week as they prepare a new cart for us, as well as get us a new steed. Galadriel has unfortunately been damaged in his travel to get here, or to get to Fellhaven. There's a festival coming up that might be nice to go to. There's also a number of places of note to visit in the city, and I guess first and foremost, in terms of priority, need to determine where would we like to stay. We could either seek staying in some guest quarters here in the Emerald Bastion, or we could find a hotel out in the city. I know we were told of one that was west of the Central Plaza, just west of here.
Okay. I don't know what you all want to do, but I've managed to secure some lodgings for myself, and Nata for the time being.
Alright.
Speaking of, Morgan will just kind of like gesture like, do you want to take her back, please?
Yeah, she does. She will take Sonata from you. Very gingerly. Okay, then. Oh, you actually ran her around enough to tire her out. That's surprising.
She ended up eating a fairly heavy meal, so that might have something to do with it as well.
Probably.
Probably, yes. Normally she gets very rambunctious after she eats.
She also had.
Smells good, too.
We gave her the opportunity of experiencing some luxury and getting cleaned up a bit.
She called us all stinky. I think it was called for.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. She looks a little understandably confused about why you all seemingly took her daughter to take a bath. But is not questioning it.
Yeah, it was a spur of the moment thing.
I understand. You'll have to forgive me. It's just a little weird to hear.
Mm. Yeah, I guess I would be a little concerned for people that I mostly don't know taking my daughter to do things that you would expect you to be doing.
Yes.
So, I understand.
You sound like you're a father yourself.
Mm.
Oh, come on, Candace. Can't an aunt treat their niece to a date at the spa?
I'm not saying they can't. That's the only reason I'm not freaking out. Failsy. Just a little odd is all. I'm a little tense.
Mm.
We didn't go co-ed.
So,
She like very poignantly looks at Brimstone and Dravinci. Good.
yeah, that would be real fucking weird.
Indeed. Would be exceedingly bizarre.
Yeah.
Felzy is only half lying here.
Didn't go co-ed with Sonata,
Yeah.
is all that
Yeah,
matters.
yeah, we did not go co-ed with Sonata in the room.
Alright then, that's good. We can certainly ask around and see if we can get you all some lodgings here as well. I wouldn't necessarily assume you'd want to, though, because apparently there's a lot in the way of apparently luxury locations here.
Mm.
Mostly utilitarian ones.
Yeah, that seems about right. Lodgings here won't necessarily be fancy unless you're someone in status.
Apparently not even the king of this place enjoys fancy lodgings.
Mm.
That was the part that surprised me the most.
That's surprising, considering. I don't know.
Actually, Brimstone, you're pretty well aware of this. The king of Granum, he's a military commander. Every king of Granum has always been known as a hero king, and that's not just a title. That's because they literally serve alongside their military.
Brimstone is aware of this. Brimstone is aware of this. He just does not. His surface level introduction to the man was not one that he thought was great.
He's a bit of a gloater, but he is still.
Yeah, like he would be aware of that, but just like Brimstone doesn't like the man, so it's coloring his perspective.
Gotcha. Apparently so. And I'm fine with that, and I know Lionel is. Pretty sure Sonata can sleep just about anywhere.
Fell asleep in the middle of a restaurant.
That sounds about right.
She did get to try out a luxury few get to have.
What's that?
A drink called soda water. Or
She
soda.
was asleep. She was asleep when that happened, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Wait.
Sonata was asleep the whole time we were at the
No, I
main
thought.
sauce.
I thought because he was that she was looking nervous. So when being asked to tell a story, he just had a soda water brought out for her anyway to help kind of lighten up the mood.
Mm.
Maybe I forgot about that.
It's been a while since we last played.
Wow! It's
Yeah.
2 weeks since that happened.
That's my recollection of it anyway. That he brought her some water
You're
to
probably right.
break the tension.
That plus she's a child. There may not necessarily be a lot that he has that a child could have safely.
That probably did happen. I just
Yeah.
don't remember it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
One of those things where I said it offhandedly and then forgot about.
Mm.
Yes, that did happen then. Sure. All right then. I believe we've had that before. Is that some of the nicer dinners that we would attend?
I don't know, weird concept to me. Don't know why you'd want to have water that's been pissed off. Even if you can flavor it, like I'd rather just have the straight juice.
He like makes a face while thinking about what you just said. No, I've never thought about why they did it. I just sort of understood it as a norm.
I don't know, pretentious display of ostentatious wealth. I don't fucking know. I don't know how rich people think.
It's a peculiarity, something different.
I suppose.
That's what I said.
Fair enough. Still, though, I can see about getting you some places here, but if you want something apparently nicer than that, then you'll have to seek other lodging.
I'll have to think about that.
I think I can figure something out, but I appreciate their sentiment.
Alright then. I'll assume that it's a no then and not ask around anymore. Don't want to imply the need for more lodging and then have it not be used. That seems like that would be a bit of an overstep for someone who just entered this place.
Yeah. Lee, how's Nick? I'm assuming you have no preferences.
I mean, I was already looking around. I went through the market district a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here.
I bet.
Apparently, I'm not allowed to take it back to the cart now. And there's something's wrong with the cart.
Yeah. I think we're getting a new one, so they got to take that one back. We'll have it in about a week, so.
So currently, I think I might have accidentally been hired as a chef. Someone started talking to me. I was walking around. They were like talking about cooking food. I was like, oh, don't talk to them about cooking food. And then next thing I knew, they were like handing me little pieces of paper with words on them, and then saying what the words were. Just like, okay. Started describing foods. I started making them. And they start. He just holds up a small bag of coin. At the end of the day, I had to give me this and just like come back tomorrow.
That sounds like you just got yourself a job without realizing it. That's
Impressive.
nah. That doesn't surprise me, honestly. You're good at what you.
I've seen some. Been like at port a few times, a couple of times. Not usually coming off the ship, obviously. But I've been at port a few times. I see like a place where people serving food. but you don't got enough people making the food to serve the people to get the food out to them nice and hot. Just can't let that set. People deserve to have nice, good food that's hot.
Well,
Want everyone to imagine the scene from Emperor's New Groove where Kronk took over as a fry chef.
Yes.
That's basically what happened to Lee. Oh, and if you're looking for Osnick, here he is. And Lee just picks up a large watermelon.
Is he inside the watermelon?
Gently lifts the top of the watermelon off, and just a goblin head just slowly pops up, goes, grabs the top, pulls it back down. Yeah.
I mean,
he's been freaking out the whole time we've been in the city.
yeah, I would have to imagine this is a lot of new experiences for him happening pretty rapidly, and the fact that he doesn't understand most of what we're saying is even more distressing. We're gonna have to find a way to actually acclimate him.
I mean, at least he's got a hiding place he seems to feel safe in.
Yeah.
And it's portable.
Yeah, I bought this with the intention of eating it, and then Osnig.
I hate it.
Osnig happened to it.
That doesn't surprise me. I'm pretty sure he and Keta could try to out-eat one another.
I think Osnig would win.
Yeah, I think he would too.
Yeah. I'll keep a handle on him, but for the meantime, I guess I'm gonna keep doing that. If you don't need me, you can find me. It's a little restaurant in the market district.
Yeah.
Yeah. See him like doing like fourth dimensional math, like he's trying to recall something. It was a restaurant called Potbelly.
Fair enough.
I actually found it and walked inside because I thought it was a place where I could buy a new kettle. Because the sign in the front of it is just a big iron kettle on a chain hanging in front of it. I was just like, that's where you buy a pot. No, it's a restaurant.
Huh.
I can see where you would get the association from. I don't know, the way people name things and advertise them is weird.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that for a couple of days to get my mind off things.
Yeah, it'll help you. Yeah.
So let me do something with all the ingredients I bought that can't really put anywhere right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Yeah. Brimstone, if you want, I'll keep an eye on Osnig.
Yeah, that'd be appreciated. You can at least talk to him better than I can.
Yeah.
Long as you didn't get
try
into
to keep. I'll try to keep him out of trouble. Seems to like to eat the scraps of the cooking that was doing so.
To be fair.
The person running the restaurant didn't seem to mind him too much.
I mean, to be fair, as long as he's hanging with us, he's probably being treated a lot better than he's ever been used to. I don't think he'll get into too much trouble.
Yes!
Is that Osnick from inside the watermelon?
Yeah, you just slowly raised up and went, yes! Slowly lowered back down.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Alright, if we need you, we'll find you.
Shouldn't be too hard to find.
Nah,
They've got a giant iron pot hanging out. Actually, thinking, that seems like it's really dangerous.
yeah, it probably would be.
Chain broke.
What? Wouldn't it be good to try to get try to see if there's someone who's also fluent in both Goblin and Common to try to teach Osnick some more comment?
I mean, it wouldn't be
maybe.
it wouldn't be an awful idea. It's just a matter of I don't know how he's going to react to someone new. He's at least been able to act against all of us. It's just a matter of
Think if it's one person and there's a lot of food involved, he could manage.
or other captains maybe.
If y'all find something like that, let me know.
Yeah, I'll keep my eye out. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. So, how y'all?
Hmm.
Doing okay. I'd like to just figure out a place to stay and get some letters written up.
Oh, letters, actually saw something that might help you with that. I was like wandering about trying to find the market. There's like this big place with a big old like stone bowl with water shooting up out of it. I don't want to swim in it, but I don't. People give me weird looks when I start climbing inside it.
So,
Fountain.
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
You sure?
But they were like, I like a bunch of like people with papers and like writings and stuff going in and out of one building in that area.
Scribes.
If that's a word for it, then yeah.
It's one word for him, I guess.
Yeah. I was curious because I was just like, what's going on in here? I walked in there, again, people giving me weird looks.
Is it because you just got out of the fountain?
It's probably
Fair.
can't say no, but I don't know for certain.
That's fair.
Out of character, is that something Vinci is aware of, having been in a lot of big cities?
Yeah, you've been in a lot of big cities, and there are like buildings where one can go to send messages out, like post offices to like send out carrier pigeons or things of that nature. Yeah.
Okay, are they
It's like-
referred to as a post office or something else?
Post office is like a colloquial term. They're specifically referred to as the scribe network. Yeah, I like walked inside there, and these people, they would like give like a person a piece of paper. They'd like touch a rock, and like they start like moving the lips, but no word happened. I think they're using magic to send words to people.
Yeah, it sounds like magic.
The Scribe Network. I figured there would be a station here, but it's good to know that it's close to the central fountain.
Yeah, it's like right in the middle of the place. I've also been noticing like a couple of those people in like this place itself, the castle. I don't know if it's one of those rocks because they don't let me walk around in here as a wheel.
Probably conveying messages back from the battlefield.
Or sending personal or not personal, but sending business-related messages to diplomats in other locations.
Well, I don't know if they'd be using the one that's so publicly available or if they'd have their own. I guess it depends on how severe the actual information is.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I wasn't a communications officer.
Brensha, you would be aware that the Scribe Network specifically transfers messages between other parts of the Scribe Network. It can't just... Well, there are definitely people in there that can just cast the sending spell.
Yeah.
Hey, you need to send out...
More the thinking is that someone might have a personal scribe specifically for the purposes of transmitting private messages, like to it between a country and its ambassador location.
Pretty much, yeah.
Would that
That's
be
more
we-
what I was referring to with that.
Would that be
That's
what
what
we
were you
need to get a move on the documentation stuff?
I mean, right now, the people in this castle are also working on that for you, but depending on your sources, you might be able to give yourself a bit more credibility on the other side. Say one of you could get in contact with someone who's already in the Blossom Kingdom.
That is exactly what Da Vinci is planning to do.
Thanks.
But yeah, so that's what I found out. It's been a long day.
That it has.
It has been too long. I am not nearly drunk enough.
To be fair, you were well on your way until that knocked you right back out.
Still have the rest of that bottle.
Bottle!
Yeah, it's like now she just remembers it. Like she's been holding it the whole time. And just, oh yeah!
I forgot I had this. Glug 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 glug. He throws it. Alright. Well, I think I'm gonna go try to get to a place I can stay at now. And a little tavern inn I could stay at if you guys want. Let's go there. Otherwise, I'm just gonna take some time.
You do that. And good on getting yourself a job for the time being.
Don't know if I could really be complimented for something I didn't do on purpose. Thanks.
And it's kind of funny, but like at the same time, again, I'm not really surprised.
It's still commendable. Some people end up spending weeks or months with not being able to find a place for them to fit in.
So it's a job you like doing anyways.
Yeah, that's the important part. I'm just cooking, people get to eat food, and now I'm getting actually paid for it, which is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should institute a regular pay for you.
Oh, do you all pay me?
Well, if we're traveling and you're cooking.
Yeah, but I don't like buy stuff to cook for you. I just find stuff to cook for you.
Yeah, I think that's the difference. Here, he's providing a luxury service. Out there, he's just keeping us alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Despite the fact you've had some really good food made from Lee in the middle of a field, some
Yeah.
random place.
Well, but the essential argument is still the same, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's good enough at survivalism, or however he finds all these ingredients that he can manage to keep us alive and stocked up enough without having to worry about running out, so.
Yeah. Besides, at this point, I don't think it's really hard to understand that I'm not really trying to get money from you all. Just want to help find her.
We will.
We're doing what we can.
I know, I know. I'll be fine. Get this done. Just keep me up to date, okay?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go take this watermelon goblin. Run in. Just hefts up the watermelon.
Yeah.
On the inside of it, you can hear like a scraping sound.
Osnick scraping out the remnants. Maybe he's
At one
just
point,
eating
you just
a rind.
just hear like a sound as you can just see Osnick's eyeball poking out of a hole he's punched in it.
I guess he's comfortable in there, considering.
Someone screamed at him earlier and freaked out, and he's just been hiding ever since.
Yeah, I guess goblins aren't too terribly common around here.
Not like him, apparently. This is the thing. You guys have noticed that there have been a couple of goblins walking around the city streets. They're pretty rare because it's mostly humans.
Mm-hmm.
They look different than normal goblins.
Right.
They actually almost resemble small humans. Just with green skin and very long ears.
City goblins.
We got a feral goblin.
Yes. Like, Osnick has, like, the really elongated head, like, super sharp features.
Mm-hmm. Whereas the city goblins look more refined.
Almost just look like short humans.
Right.
Green and with long ears. And have very long, jagged teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Osnick looks very different compared to them.
I guess might be some kind of dimorphism. Came about through different ways or something, I don't know.
Most of you all would be aware that goblins are one of the few species on... the few, like, humanoid species that have a weird adaptation about them to where they will actually evolve throughout their lifetime to fit an environment that they have been in for a long period of time.
Oh, okay. So, adaptation.
Yeah. They will literally evolve their new appendages or biological adaptations to match their environment.
That's fair.
It's freaky, too. Or most goblins, after they've evolved that sort of adaptation once, they can't do it again.
Right, so it's unlikely that Osnick may change again, considering he's, as far as we know, adult.
However, he doesn't have an adaptation currently. He is a base goblin.
Oh, I thought he was just a feral goblin, but okay, that's fair.
He is what would be called a forest goblin or a base goblin.
Gotcha. So he can still adapt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A little bit of weird little monster trivia for this world.
Fair enough.
Stage, y'all just need to pick a place you want to go to rest. It is getting a bit later in the day at this point. Having to walk back and forth between the bastion.
Failsy, Dravenche.
Yes.
You guys go find a place to stay. I gotta go do something in Morgan. I'd like if you tag along.
Alright.
Sure. Do you want us to meet you at that hotel that we were told about?
That's what I was thinking. It's the only place we've really been explicitly told about, and I ain't really looking to spend a lot of time looking around for a place.
That's fair. I'll get reservations for the four of us set up.
Alright.
Alright.
And Jervinche will do so and leave.
To the brothel tavern.
Yeah, Failsy doesn't hear hotels. She's like, oh boy, brothel. I'm looking to get some.
No, just Failsy kicks in the door. All right, where's all the sexy men and women at?
Where the women at?
Ass and titty. Ass and titty.
Nah, she's.
Bam! I'm looking to smash, and I ain't care how much it costs. Actually, I do.
She might be a little more intelligent than that and be going, can I have an application, please?
Next application, I'd like a working interview. I'm here for my interview. You're not on my interview. You know what? Sure.
We got this black couch over here.
I was getting ready to make a black couch joke.
Yeah.
Here, let us take you to the interview couch. No, anyways, we're gonna follow Brimstone and Morrigan then.
Okay.
Because for particular reasons, I kind of want everyone to be privy to what happens at the brothel whenever it gets to that point.
That's fair. I'm presuming giving the information that Bliss's shop would be around the market district, so Brimstone would be making his way there.
Yeah, you do actually remember you saw the chapel from Bliss's shop.
Right. Yeah, so just as we're making our way there, just there's no easy way to say this, so I'm just gonna come out with it. When I took that drink, I heard your thoughts.
Oh.
What's wrong?
I just didn't want to drink then. I don't particularly care to do so for the next little while.
You don't have to share the reason if you don't want to, but if we're traveling together and there's a problem, you should share it.
Just a few years ago, I was real bad about the drink. I don't want to fall back into that. And I could tell by how I've been feeling this last week, these last few days, that it would cause me to spiral. And I wasn't very kind to myself when I spiraled, so...
I can understand that.
I don't... Yeah.
It's hard to be nice to yourself when you know you're doing something wrong. Especially when you can't help it.
Yeah. Something particularly really bad almost happened on one bad night of it, but I don't want to go into that. It's just say I could have been really bad, turned out rather nice, so...
If I gotta shoot somebody, you can just tell me.
Like, she real quick looks around to see how many tieflings are around, if it's just her and Brimstone.
In the immediate area would just be you and Brimstone. As I said, the most common people to walk about the streets of Graynham are humans.
Alright, so she will quickly just switch to Infernal and be like, I almost killed myself a few years ago by trying to drown myself in a pond while drunk.
Oh. I can relate to that.
It's actually how I ended up, well, what I am now. That's what they could have been very bad turned out rather good.
You trying to kill yourself got you a sword and a new perspective on life, and me trying to kill myself got me my arm back. I guess I never told any of you about that.
No, you didn't.
I'm sure you've heard me say my father was not exactly the kindest individual.
She just nods.
When I was 10, he killed my mother.
I'm so sorry.
Said that every man needs to grow up. Might as well start early. I got older, met a woman who I loved and who loved me. He killed her too. Said that it made you weak. That for whatever purpose he needed me for, love would only keep me away from it. Both times after, he beat me to near death. He could have killed me, but he didn't. I don't know whether he had some sort of psychotic break that only got brought back from the brink, or if it was his own twisted way of instilling his lesson into me. For a while after Liana died, I wanted to join her. Threw myself into every dangerous military conflict I could, just to see if something would finally kill me, and eventually something did. Took my arm. And as I lay there dying, and everything slowed, and that motherfucker appeared again. Clasped the brand around my arm and sewed it back together and said that I could not die yet. That his grand design had yet to come to pass, and that he needed me alive still. Now that I know I'm the oldest of his children, I don't know what that is, and that terrifies me.
Whatever it means. If you'll have us there to have your back. I can't really speak for the others, but I'd be willing to help you.
I always thought it would be him to steal Kata. Another way to fail the women that trusted me. Another way to hurt me. let's just say this whole incident a week ago is just fears coming to pass in a different way. If we can't get her back safely, I don't know how I'm going to be able to face redemption. Vivian I can handle. Vivian and I have always had a strained relationship. I can't betray my best friend like that. After I promised I'd keep her safe.
We'll get her back. It may take a while, but we'll get her back.
Even if it fails, we and I have to rip that bitch apart ourselves. After everything she did, fails again, Sonata through. And countless others, I'm sure.
I'm not as involved with that, but I'd be willing to hold her still for y'all to have your fun. I don't condone in saying anyone deserves to die, but if you take someone out of the world so they can't hurt anybody any longer, that's not a bad thing. And that woman, from what I've seen, definitely has hurt a lot.
I'm sure she's liable to hurt a lot more if she gets what she wants.
Which is why we need to get Keta back from her. But we need to be smart about it.
We can't risk any one of us falling into her clutches. For all we know, she needs all of us. Maybe not Failsy. Although I think that would be more of a token prize as opposed to actual need. After all, she almost had her once already, I assume. Thankfully, Chiffon could free her.
We just have to outsmart her as much as possible. Try to stay a few steps ahead.
Yeah. I suppose I should probably be transparent with you as to why I brought you here. Specifically, well, beyond this whole thing. I guess I want you to meet someone.
Okay.
About how close would we be to Bliss's shop, at least by Brimstone's estimation?
Assuming you started walking or assuming you started really talking as you got back to the central plaza, which is kind of what I assumed has been happening.
Yeah, as soon as we were decently far enough away, or as soon as we split off from, or a couple minutes after we split off from Failsy and Da Vinci, yeah.
So that would have been pretty much as you were getting past the central plaza, because the hotel is just west of the central plaza, whereas where you guys were going is further west than that.
Yeah.
So at this point, you would be getting, to your recollection, pretty close.
Okay.
Like, you know, to get to specifically the building you went to before, if you were to turn down the alleys coming up, you'd actually be able to get back to that particular building. You don't actually know exactly where the storefront itself is. If you want to make a perception check, you could probably find it.
Perception. Okay. 19.
19. It's not too hard because already you've grown to recognize the smell of Bliss's shop.
Mm.
You can smell those rich, sweet scents, and while not of particular interest to your taste buds exactly, you've already grown to associate them with a very pleasant thing.
Right.
So, just following your nose a little bit, you can find your way to Bliss's Delightfully Baked Goods.
And just
That identical storefront, that very nicely made, engraved around the edges glass. You can see the cavalcade of different baked goods and confectionaries on display. And at this moment, you actually see Bliss herself walking around the front of the store, as it seems like she's getting ready to close up for the night.
just as it comes into view, Morgan will be able to see Brimstone visibly like loosen up a bit. Just like the tension in the shoulders and all that kind of relax some. Just, looks like we came at a good time.
Came to where? Oh. She actually looks nervous.
What? Is there a problem?
No, it's just I thought I recognized the shop is all.
Okay. We're just gonna walk up.
Forget, has Morgan been to one of Bliss's shops before?
Yeah. The one on the Emerald Plateau.
Okay. Alright, it's just hard for me to keep track of where everyone's been to them because it's a
They're
franchise.
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, she was at the one of that's where she got the potato candy that Sonata helped her
Oh, yeah, that's
decimate
right.
during the in between
That's
time.
right.
Mm-hmm.
It is very bizarre, Motogun, because that is the sign, font, like the artistry and the painting of it, the engraving around the glass, like pretty much to a T, except for the obvious surroundings around the building, is the exact same as the storefront you saw in the Emerald Plateau. And the woman you see walking around the store as you head your way through the front window, as you head your way up to the front door, is the exact same woman.
Huh. Sisters, maybe?
You open the door, it gives a little little ring tilling ding. You both are familiar with to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
You just hear as you open the door, just, sorry, we're about to close up. Do you have an order? Brimstone.
Yeah, Brimstone just stands there smiling, which is definitely weird for Morgan, who has pretty much not seen him do so. Just,
And
yep.
we've met before. She just looks at you, Morgan.
Holy shit, this is the same fucking store and the same woman. What the
Don't think about it too hard. It's good to see you, Brimstone. I didn't expect to see you here.
Yeah, I know.
You just seem to keep finding my places, don't you? Turn the sign around on the door if you would.
Yeah, as he does so, just, I wonder why that might be.
Oh, you've obviously been here before. Your little group always seems to find my shops.
Mm,
Put them in sneakier places.
that's mean.
Wouldn't be very good for business either. What brings you both here today? Didn't expect you to bring anyone other than Keta with you, Brimstone. What happened? I think her expression just immediately drops.
Do you want to explain or
No.
should I?
That's a long story.
I have plenty of tea and obviously a lot of biscuits. Come in and explain it to me.
Hmm.
For the sake of brevity, if you all just want to say you explain it, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's quite the situation you found yourselves in, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can see she's like fidgeting with her hands after hearing the gravity of the whole thing. It's a lot. You mentioned this woman's name was Arya? Did this?
Yeah. That's what she called herself.
Arya the Radiant. I've heard that name before.
I don't recall if that title was actually ever used, but
You've never heard that title before, but it's not really a surprising title to hear. Radiant was often the name ascribed to chaotic magic energy. Like Radiant or Radiance.
sounds about right. But you've heard that name before?
Yes. And she like looks at you just like, is it okay to talk about this around her? Brimstone?
Yeah. It's just go ahead. It's fine. I trust her.
Okay. Yes, while I was working with your father and instructing things for him, you would often complain about her and her meddling with his plans, or just in general being another force that he considered to be a threat. It wasn't often that Ataraxes spoke of someone as if they were a potential equal to him.
Doesn't surprise me.
Would Morgan recognize that name?
Ataraxes?
Yeah.
Well, I believe you guys have heard people refer to Brimstone by his actual name before, I believe.
Possibly. It seems possible.
I feel like it's happened before when you had to say your official name for when you were meeting with the king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the name is very similar to what you have heard Brimstone's actual name to be. In terms of specifically that title, name rather, there would be nothing in Morrigan's history for that to have ever come up.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Brimstone has mentioned that he is explicitly named after his father, and that's why he goes by Brimstone.
Yeah. So just having heard Brimstone's given first name earlier, and then hearing what his father's name, she's just thinking to herself, "Oh wow, those are really similar." But she's not saying anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
They are very similar names, you're not wrong.
Oh, I didn't say anything.
No.
Oh,
Am I missing something? Is this some unspoken woman thing?
It's magic, Brimstone.
Okay, something that I don't understand that isn't sexist. Cool.
Well, I wouldn't say that women don't have a sort of intuition about what each other are thinking, but I can, to some extent, actually hear other people's thoughts. It has to do with what I am.
See, we went to a little tavern, the Minutes Lost, and they had a drink there, and I took a drink of it, and I could hear people's thoughts, and I hated it.
Her eyes just go a little like, huh. Minutes Lost. Oh, yes, that tavern. It's a pretty popular little place. Nice. don't think I've had a drink there that lets you read people's thoughts, though.
To be fair, it was because one of our other members wanted to try it, and it just kind of went from there.
That's how things tend to go.
Yeah.
Oh, that angry water's still making me burp. Sorry.
Yeah, I still don't get that.
I don't like it. Don't like it. I
Like I said,
understand it's fancy, but I don't like it.
yeah, like I said, like just squeeze out a lime in front of me and let me drink that. Like that's much better.
I have lemonade over in my icebox if you want some.
That's sweet. I mean, I'll still take it though, but like, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Fine. I also don't put sugar in lemonade.
Oh,
Just fruit juice and water. Lemonade is lemon juice and water is already sweet enough as it is.
you gorgeous woman, I love you. Brimstone goes and gets him some lemonade.
Yeah. It's weird, Baragon. He walks over to a large, like, steel box that has runes carved into it, and opens it, and you can feel like a wave of cold air come out of it.
Huh.
Still. I'm an enchanter by original trade. It's what I did when I worked with Brimstone's father.
I mean, would you call it worked with?
I'm trying to speak in polite and understandable terms. I was enslaved by his father.
I was like, honey, yeah, just she knows he's an asshole.
I understand that, but Brimstone, you know, you talk about him too much. Sometimes he notices you.
Are we talking? Are we talking royal you or me in specific?
General, if you've been in contact with him,
Oh, I'm.
keeps an eye on you.
Is he more than just a particularly powerful tiefling then?
He is probably one of the most powerful people in this world.
Oh shit.
And he is no tiefling. He is a devil.
As Brimstone walks back, just yeah, he's got wings or some shit. I don't know.
Yes. You familiar with what devils and demons are?
I should hope so. Like, she just gestures kind of at herself.
Well, the unfortunate thing is, a lot of tieflings actually do not truly understand infernal heritage and the dissension of their bloodlines.
Guess I got
Become
lucky with.
diluted.
Guess I got lucky with my mother being smart about that and letting me and my sisters know.
Yes. So a lot of them actually don't know much about devils and demons other than bigger, more scary versions of what tieflings are. Like myself, I am evil. And I suppose I just look like a tiefling to you.
Yeah.
I feel like I've described Bliss on stream before,
You
but
have.
whenever she's in her comfortable attire, when she's not like made up to be a presentery face for her storefront, best way to describe her is that she looks like a very tired librarian. Like a tired librarian from a Hollywood movie, so sexy.
And Brimstone looks like a tired ranch hand, so you know it's perfect.
Yeah. They're like a Hallmark movie made to be.
Yeah, honestly.
Except a lot darker.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Yes. But his father is a devil, and probably the most powerful one that is currently in existence. If I had to guess.
I'm pretty sure he was trying to explain things to me, but he was also beating my ass at the time, so I don't remember any of it.
I don't fault you. He's a hard man to deal with.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. You know, you'd think after how many kids he's had, because I know he's had, well, he might have only had 2. He's probably had a lot of them, though. You think he'd be better with them?
Necessarily think it has anything to do with experience at his stage. I'm sorry, Morgan. We're talking around a lot of subjects that you aren't privy to. I hate to be the person to ask this, Brimstone, but
Yeah.
is there a particular reason you brought her here?
Here, specifically, not really. It was just some things I needed to say to her away from the rest of the group, and I was coming here anyways, so it was just incidental.
It was a matter of convenience. That I understand. Alright then.
Yep, apparently I thought something that made him worried when he could hear thoughts earlier. He just wanted to make sure I was okay.
I still don't. I don't want to do that again.
Don't recommend it.
Just like yours, fine. Dravinche, his ears were ringing, and that was one ear, which is more annoying. I hate when that happens. And then Failsy, ugh. I don't want to think about that.
I believe I've met Failsy before, and I understand.
Oh. I mean, she's not. She's young. It's like I get it.
She's young and imaginative.
I mean, she's also was raised mostly in Smota's Temple, so you know.
Yes, this Modest Temple. I've been there. I have a way of life. You think I would be interested in what I am?
Well,
Not.
that would be terribly presumptive of me.
Be fair, though.
And I might be a little jealous.
Don't be. Hey, don't be.
I said might.
I'd be interested if you're jealous, depending on how you deal with it. That's neither here nor there, though. She looks awkwardly over at Morgan.
Morgan's just kind of being quiet and sipping at her tea.
That's a discussion for another.
When there's not company over.
What? No, yeah.
Speaking honestly, at least. Okay then. Well, it is certainly good to meet you, Morgan. Properly and not in a business sort of circumstance.
It's nice to get to meet you too, although I do wish circumstances for a first proper meeting outside of business were better.
Yeah. So,
Even though the circumstances aren't good, it is always good to meet someone. I don't think poor circumstances should tint one's initial opinions.
That's fair.
She actually tilts her head slightly towards you. And you notice her looking at your hand.
Okay.
You're branded.
Huh? What do you mean?
The mark on your hand. You've made a pact with something.
Oh.
And she's just like, oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
I
I
hope
may-
that was nice.
It was... I was in a very dark place, and it was a light. She kind of gives Brimstone a look.
To be fair, whatever she's made a deal with has been rather helpful.
I've heard stories of others who've made pacts. I'm very lucky. What I made a pact with, they are very kind.
I'm sure there's been plenty of people who've made pacts with my father or that bitch that have gotten much worse.
So, I don't know much about this Arya the Radiant. I'm certain there are people who have made pacts with her. But may the gods bless any soul that has made a pact with Ataraxes.
I think if they've reached that point, the gods might be hard-pressed.
I have some say, but challenge.
I mean, if he was that big of a problem, you'd think they'd be doing something about it, but I don't know. He works quiet.
Indeed. I don't know how they haven't noticed, but they haven't. Or if they have, they're not doing anything. Not exactly something I can just broker a topic of conversation of with any random god I happen to pass by on the street.
Yeah, I don't know if association would be cause for alarm. I don't know.
Yes, that's...
I guess I could have asked Granum, but at the same time, there were more pressing matters to attend to.
Of course. Definitely seems like you all have gotten yourself into quite the situation.
I do
There's a
tend.
duck outside my window.
You do attract strange things sometimes. Present
This time the
person
duck
saying this included.
is the duck doing a mating display. It is not what I expected.
I haven't seen that since I was back in my hometown, sorry.
I'm going to close the curtain now.
Brimstone just kind of like bites his lip and looks away.
I have that effect on people.
I'm well aware of this.
She just closes the curtain to ignore the goose. All right then. Broke the tension a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Dour topics aside. Is anything you all need? Don't feel afraid to let me know. As I said, I am an enchanter by initial trade. Even if the circumstances around my learning of the trade were not great, I am proficient in it.
Ash, question.
Mythosia, potential answer.
For the little bit of time that we did the Game Master thing, is that still valid or no?
Is assumed that entire event happened.
Okay.
Basically, you guys terrifyingly running away from regenerating minotaurs.
Gotcha.
You tried to find all of the insignia in that place.
Okay. Yeah, just... So, when we were going to face Arya to get Sonata back, the Game Master intervened and we had to do one of his painfully annoying trials. I'm getting kind of sick and tired of his ass, but that's neither here nor there.
He put us in ridiculous costumes as well.
Yeah, and in the case of that, I was, I suppose, a wizard. Some spellcaster, I don't know, it was really annoying. But I had a book, and it were spells.
You could tell Bliss is trying to hold in laughing.
What?
I'm sorry, I can see it in your head, in both of your heads. Both just thought about it.
Look, hers was much more flattering than mine was, I'm just gonna say it.
I don't like my clothes being that tight!
I don't...
I understand what you're picturing, Brimstone. I can see it. It's what she's seeing with you in the outfit. Oh my goodness. Sorry.
He's just kind of staring at her, just like, wow. Okay.
Brimstone, you're really funny to imagine with a giant fake beard attached to your head.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm kidding.
If it were a real beard, you'd be better, honey.
Yeah, well, I didn't get that, so, you know. That
We
plus,
can work with that.
even if I did.
I have a belt that could let you grow a beard if you wanted to.
That is very specific.
Does other things, but that's a side effect.
Given that Morrigan grew up around dwarves, would she know what that is just based on description?
It's not normally a thing dwarves have, to be honest. It's normally a thing people who deal with dwarves have.
Wait, she would have
In, like,
grown
a political sense.
Fair enough. Okay, never mind then.
That's fair.
It's like a thing you give to humans or elves that have to deal with dwarves on a regular basis. So that probably would be a thing.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So the spell book that I had, it had writing from two different hands, yours and father's, which is weird.
That's
Although I guess,
interesting.
I mean, I don't know if it was necessarily like explicitly taken from him or you.
I've shown you my spellbook before, Brimstone.
I mean, I don't know if you have more than one. I mean, for all I know, that one could get burned up and then you forget everything. I don't know how magic works.
I have it protected against such things. I'm an enchanter.
That's fair. You would be smart enough to do that.
My spellbook is actually initially one he created that I further developed.
Okay. I guess I'm just wondering if it was an effect of just the fact that both you and him know that. If it was someone else, it might be in another person's hand or something like that. But I guess you wouldn't really know, so I guess I was just making the observation because it was weird and I wanted other people to know about it.
I can see the figure you're talking about, this game master.
Yeah, he's weird.
That was an entity that I do remember your father speaking of as well. Very specifically, in a sense of... He called it one of 3 uncontrollable forces.
Brimstone just... Uh-huh.
And apparently he feared those things. A
Terrifying.
few things he actually... I'm not going to mince words. It was one of the few things that he ever expressed any monicum of worry about. I shouldn't say fear. Worry is more accurate.
I mean,
I don't know why, though.
I met 3 things. One of them, which was Game Master, and give me this gun. Well,
Just pull out the gun.
yeah.
I want you to immediately roll a D100.
Okay. 32.
There's immediately like a sense of dread that overtakes you as you pull out the gun in Bliss's presence.
Oh, I think I fucked up.
Why?
Normally when I pull out the gun, it doesn't send a chill down my everything.
Alright.
I'm gonna... Anyway.
There's something about it right now that's making you super uncomfortable. It doesn't seem to be affecting Bliss in any way, but it's making you uncomfortable.
How so? Like, is it like a generalized sense of, like, anxiety, or is it like...
It's like... No, it's a feeling of dread of realizing you just did something that was super fucked up. And you're just now beginning to grasp and comprehend how fucked up it was. You want to make an internal insight check.
Okay.
Do that.
Insight. It's a history check. It would be an 11 for insight.
Go ahead and roll an insight.
Okay.
Might be higher.
13.
Still the exact same. 13. You get flashbacked to what the gun and specifically the bullets in the gun were made of, and how you saw, like, the events you saw leading up to that. Those materials being produced. When you saw Bliss, or rather, Ileana, sorry. It's one of those names that my brain is not good with.
Yeah.
When you saw Ileana make the deal to become what she is now, and lose life that was not her own.
Oh.
The small hourglass.
Right. That I think was part of its part of what was constructing this.
Is the hourglass itself and the sands that were inside of it that you were given at the end of the Mountain of Reflection is what was the material you had to offer up to produce your item, the Chronos Labyrinth.
Oh.
And that's weird. Your thoughts are blurry. Something wrong. I love the thought of Brimstone just going,
Yeah.
I feel like something is wrong, but I won't pry, because I feel like it might be personal.
I don't have the words to explicitly explain it, because it's strong time magic fuck. Yeah.
Okay. Don't really understand. The magic of time is never been my forte.
I have no goddamn idea.
Enough. I don't want to be a bad host, Morgan, but you give us time to just talk to each other.
Absolutely. Shall I just go wait outside the shop?
Might take a while.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna end up staying the night here, so...
Alright, so...
You mentioned how you had 2 other companions going to the hotel just up the street?
Yeah.
Alright, you just want me to go meet up with them and let them know you'll be staying here the night?
Yeah, that'd be for the best.
Alright, can do.
Well, before you go, I'll give you something for your troubles. She actually walks over to a counter, starts like opening up drawers on it.
You don't need to do that.
I don't need to, but I don't really make use of this myself, so as well let someone else use it. And she, from one of the drawers, she actually fishes through one of the drawers that is just like full of keys.
Mm-hmm.
And she pulls out a singular gold key that has a rose as the sort of head of the key. But on the, not the teeth, but the part you would like hold to turn it. Insignia itself is a rose.
The stem of the key, I think. Or the head of the key.
Yeah, it's like, the stem is the part that comes away from the teeth and leads to the head of the key.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, the teeth are still just like normal key teeth, but the stem leading up to it was made to look like a rose, to where the point where it actually has like a flat rose as the head of the key.
Alright.
Here.
Thank you.
Doesn't, as far as I'm aware, it doesn't go to anything particular, but this is an insignia that for that hotel, I was given some special accommodations for working on some of their personal enchantments to go into that building. Wanted. This is essentially just something you can present to them, and they'll be willing to give you some more high-class accommodations. A little bit. I'd honestly say probably for free if you flex a little bit, but if you are interested in such things, I'm not, but I don't know if you are.
Well, if you're talking the more adult services I've heard it offers, not particularly. Unless it's just like deep tissue massage, not really.
It's part of it.
Oh, I've really had no desire for that here lately, other than maybe a little bit of pampering.
Take it anyways, and if you want to use it, it's there for you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Right, then I'm going to talk with my husband.
Oh! One thought definitely flashes to the front of her mind with that, and there's a lot of guilt with it.
Yeah, it's like at the same time, Brimstone also thinks about it and just, oh, shit. Yeah.
He just sort of pauses and looks between you both. He's an attractive man, isn't he? Get out of here.
Yes, he is. I'm sorry. I didn't know he was married. I'm going.
Yeah, Brimstone just, huh. Okay.
Morgan's just out the door.
Don't feel bad as far as either of you are concerned. I'm dead. I was dead. I'm just going to remind him that I'm not.
Fair enough. I'm gonna go meet up with the others. Goodbye.
Oh.
Out of game, Brimstone's gonna have to make some Constitution saving throws after this.
Oh.
All right, and we cut over to the other scene.
This is not what I was. Okay, we're doing this now.
Sorry, Myth.
No, it's fine. I figured that's how that was gonna end anyway.
Listen, he's had this coming for a while now. Anyways,
Which part? Both.
Yes.
Both. Anyways.
Many meanings of the word.
Anyways.
So, Vinci and Fails, you guys have actually been waiting in a line this whole time.
Didn't realize this place was that popular.
It's one of those things where the dilation of time has not actually been that different. You guys have probably been in line for probably about 5 to 10 minutes now.
It's a case of we end up taking some time to explore around some of the other parts, some other areas of the city, and like check out the post office and the like.
You also had to find the location first.
Yeah.
It wasn't just immediately on that offshoot turn you had to do. It was kind of off the beaten path a little bit because of obvious reasons. But you've been in line for a little bit, and to their credit, while you've been waiting, they've actually been providing you refreshments. Whilst you wait, like someone walking along the length of the line, giving people refreshments, little things to peck on. Generally talking about the main cause for the line itself has been one person who you've been hearing in the distance shouting for a while.
Oh.
What's... Yeah, you're not really sure why.
Hmm. The well, what do you expect? Go to a place of the nightlife at the end of a work week. Of course, it's going to be busy.
Felzy, you are here, by the way.
I forget. Is it impolite to murder people being noisy like this?
Yes. As much as you would like to, and I completely sympathize, it is considered, at bare minimum, impolite.
One of the servers who walks past you. Trust me, if we could keep the bodies hidden, just keeps walking.
I mean, if all the warriors is just the where to get rid of the remains, acid usually does the trick.
I mean, but then there's also witnesses, and as well as there's potential relations that will try to investigate.
Acid usually does the trick.
You can't just solve all your problems with acid.
It's the first line you hear as you power walk into the scene, Morgan.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh! Hey, Morgan. Where'd Brimstone go?
He just need to ask me a few logistical questions, and also, he mainly wanted me to walk with him because he's decided he's gonna stay with a girlfriend, I guess, and wanted somebody to be able to let you guys know he had a place to stay the night.
Oh, staying with his fiancée, of course.
Say what now?
That was mentioned back at the Emerald Plateau. Cheta was all...
Anyway, he's staying the night with her, so...
well, that's fair. If you know someone in the area, might as well stay with them. Especially in that situation.
Yeah, no, I think she really only wants to put him up for the night, if you catch my drift.
I would not expect any other way.
You finally hear the shouting in the distance, calming down.
Oh, sorry, we've been waiting in line while this very impolite customer has been raising a ruckus and preventing people from even entering the place.
Huh.
Someone at this point starts coming out. See them going down the line, talking to people.
Well, if the issue's resolved, hopefully it'll be able to resolve quickly. I don't know, I'm not used to big cities.
Sorry, Ash.
Good. Eventually, the person who came out, which is actually a half-elven woman, she makes her way down towards you all standing in the line. I'm very sorry for the wait.
It's no worries. We weren't waiting for long.
I understand that, but we had trouble with a customer, with particular requests could not be met, and again, we're still just very sorry for the wait. If you'd like to come with me, I can put you to a reception to where you can check in.
Certainly. And Morgan, this stuff just tends to happen. I imagine you've had to deal with some very unpleasant people back in your hometown. A city is understandably bigger and has even worse people. especially when it comes to dealing with people in the service industry.
Oh, you mean you had to deal with a bell end? Okay.
That's a good word
That's
for it.
it's one way to put it without picking your polite customer and associate relationship. Anyways, she just leads you forward to one of the reception help desks, of which there are 5 of them at the front part of this hotel. Which, by the way, from the outside, or from the initial glance, you didn't assume it was much, but as you got closer, walking up to it, you realize this is a unusually large building for everything else around it. Like, trying to think about how it must fit into the structure of the actual other buildings around it, and how you don't notice it from the main street, and you realize it has other businesses built seemingly specifically around it to block it from the main road's view. It's really weird.
That's odd placements of buildings there. Well, it was actually rather difficult trying to find this place.
It's an unfortunate thing about how the lady of the house prefers to keep things constructed. She likes to be in the shade and likes her building in the shade and make sure not too busy but not too quiet. It's neither here nor there. Anyways, welcome to Rose Maiden Lodges.
Thank you.
She steps around the counter to start helping you all now. You all, I assume, are looking for lodgings for the night?
Yes. Are we able to order for a week in advance?
Of course. You'd like a week-long stay? I can certainly do that for you.
Yes. He just looks at Morgan. Now, do you think our fourth would be staying with his friend for the full duration of the week, or should we set aside a room for him?
Oh, shit, I didn't ask him. The only thing I know for certain is he's there tonight. For the rest of the week, I don't know.
Let him find his own bed.
Alright.
Stay there or end up in a barrack or something.
Probably wouldn't hurt to check in with him tomorrow at least.
Fair. No, for now, just 3 rooms.
Alright then. So 3 individual rooms. Okay. See her make some notes down. Alright, what class suite would you all be interested in? We have the 1st through 3rd floor suites.
Now, what is the difference between the suites?
The 1st floor suites are your average but lovely accommodations, great for sleeping. You can order room services, which you will be receiving a documentation detailing all the ones you can order. And she sort of looks at you all. I will say that certain services will not be available in the 1st suite. But it's those just looking for a place to stay where the beds are comfortable, the rooms are warm, the food is delicious. That is the preferred place to stay. The 2nd suites are more accommodating. There's large baths in each suite for personal use. You bring up any number of different things for your necessities. There's also offering the massage courses you can get from that one. And the 3rd suites are the more personal services where you can hire individuals for the evening to provide you company.
And what's the fourth suite?
There were only 3, I said, sir.
Oh, sorry, I heard 4. My apologies. No.
It's fine. I know there's quite a bit of sound going about right now.
Hmm. Well, what do the rest of you two think?
I'm not particularly interested in hiring company, so
I could recommend to you the 2nd level suite then, if you're at least interested in potentially receiving massage or bathing.
that
Food is complimentary on the 2nd suite as well.
that I am interested in. With this, and she like just like screw it. This was given to me as a thank you for time. Please go away. Just hold the key up. Would this be useful for that?
Oh, I didn't realize. Okay. So you would like a 3rd floor suite? Or actually, maybe you would be interested in a 4th floor suite. I wasn't expecting that. She looks like she looks like the worker who just got asked a question that's like do I need to call my manager to answer this question? That expression.
I'm sorry, did I
It's perfectly fine. I just wasn't expecting anything like that today. Normally we don't get clientele like you on the average day-to-day basis. Right. Okay, if you are willing to wait a moment, I can go get someone a bit more qualified to answer your questions.
Okay.
Is that alright with you?
Yeah, I don't mind waiting. I'm just confused.
So there was a 4th.
Morgan, you broke what?
I'm sorry,
makes
I didn't mean to!
There's not normally a 4th type face and just like scampers off.
I don't know what I did. I just...
What you have there is a VIP key.
I think she's getting revenge on me without realizing it.
Ah, yes, the VI key.
In actuality, she just didn't know what it was for. They just gave it to her.
That's why I say without realizing it.
She's getting revenge on Brimstone right now.
Well, having it does put you in a very interesting position, madame.
Yes, Dravince would be very familiar with aristocratic keys.
He calls her madame and she just gives him a dirty look.
Aristocratic keys, for anyone curious about writing this down, depending on the building they are for, it's essentially like having a black card.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's not quite to the same level because it's essentially a representation of wealth, where you were supposed to be offered every accommodation. But some of them are different than others, so you're not really sure what the level of accommodations you'll be offered with that.
Well, who knows? Maybe you could. Sorry.
I was going to say, you just don't know what it is because you've never been to this particular establishments before.
Morgan's not been to a
maybe
lot
you
of high-end stuff, so she is just fish out of water right now.
That's why she got it.
Maybe you could put your influence for some benefits for the rest of us. Depending on how this establishment treats their high-level clientele.
You are freaking me out right now. Have you been drinking more?
I haven't touched anything. Just enjoying the situation.
I'm glad somebody's enjoying the fact that I am totally uncomfortable with what's going on here.
Couple of moments pass before a very ostentatiously dressed woman walks out from a back room. Like, to describe this woman to a T. I hate that this is the representation I have to make, but it's been a popular piece of media lately. It's just the perfect way to describe her appearance. It's Lady Domesticaru.
Oh, okay.
Yes!
Ow! Okay.
That's the physique and the height.
Oh,
Which
damn.
makes this little half-elf girl next to her look like a dwarf by comparison.
Is she a Goliath or something?
She is.
Okay, cool.
Except, very
Big
bizarre
woman.
thing. She has hair.
Female Goliaths have
Pretty
hair.
weird. Goliaths don't have hair as a standard. Period. Don't have any body hair, period. Because their skin has a texture akin to stone. Great for growing hair. Anyways. The fact that she has hair is kind of weird. The actual dress of this woman is a deep green, almost ball gown type dress, if a little more slim to the figure. And her actual hat that she is wearing, which is this very wide brimmed thing, is a sort of deep green around the actual brim of it, but the top part is... I mean, if you didn't know any better, you would assume that it is, in fact, a giant, like, 2-foot wide rose. Well then. Not expect to have any high stakes clientele recently. If you all would like to follow me, I'll show you to your suites.
Lead the way.
Okay.
And we're going to end session there. As you all are led to the what is essentially the penthouse of this building.
Sweet.
Because for some reason, I don't really know what Bliss did, but she was given one of the only keys to that location. She didn't know what it was.
And now Morrigan has it.
Yep.
Just to Da Vinci as they're walking, just poking fun at Morrigan with a... Got quite the keys to the castle right there.
Quietly under her breath to both him and Failsy, because I would not be surprised if Failsy's doing some teasing. Just in Infernal, she's just quietly going, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
If you don't want to, I'll take it.
No, it was given to me. It's my key. If I'm allowed to keep it after this, I want to. It's pretty.
Alright then. Yeah, that's where we're ending off for tonight.
Okay.
I literally just rolled to see if she would give you anything, and then rolled to see what she might give you of all of her weird items she has in her house.
And it was
just like... It was just like, that one key is in my table. It's just like, oh, that one key.
Oh boy.
Alright then.
This was
That was
fun.
fun.
Yee. I would say
Yee.
Jinx, show me a Coke, but I'm already making you curry after this, so.
I paid for everything but the potatoes.
That's fair.
And the
But-
power used to cook it.
Yeah. Alright, but since we are at end of session, does anybody have anything they want to promote or shill?
Not currently.
No, I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, although I think we can announce one certain thing about this campaign in particular.
Yeah.
Who wants to do it?
My brain is shutting down on what the one particular thing is.
I'm free, so we can be here every week now.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are officially back on a weekly as much as we can manage schedule with Scattered Realms.
Ah!
Woo!
Now,
Ash,
obviously,
you sounded terrified. Like, oh god, I gotta play it every week now.
I have to write for 3 D&D campaigns every week.
That sounds like a you problem.
It is a me problem.
Alright, as long as we're aware.
but yes,
Exclusively a me problem.
provided nothing gets in the way of people's schedules, we will be officially having Scattered Realms every Saturday at or around 8 p.m. EST, and we were pretty damn close to being on time tonight. We were late. It's my bad. I had to load my dishwasher before session. Sorry, guys.
We're only about 10 minutes late.
It's fine. Yeah, it wasn't bad.
All right, then. But, woohoo! Weekly again! And if
I
the...
officially changed my work availability to never have to work on Sundays anymore, so I can actually do this properly.
Woo!
Yay!
And provided, schedules work out, continue for it to continue. It didn't work out this past week because people were just not feeling well, but Project Ada will be taking the former Thursday slot on this channel which will be Thursday evenings at or around 7 p.m. EST, where if you want to check out something a little more modern day, and that honestly only has one session under its belt right now, so you'll have plenty of time to catch up. Definitely that would be something to check out.
I'm not a sad angry boy in that one.
You're like a confused lion man.
Yeah,
Confused, concerned lion man.
yeah. Because one of us is very hungry, and that's concerning.
And then one of
One
us
of
is
you
just
is lizard.
and then one of us is just a tired dad who loves hot peppers.
Key.
And I am not charismatic at all.
And we have another friend joining us fresh on that day as well.
Yes.
Not currently in this campaign.
Yes. But
True.
I'm not good at announcing things. I fail.
It's fine.
I don't even really know why we do the announcement, considering no one really listens to these.
It helps keep us it helps keep us honest.
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm bad at that.
You're gonna learn, boy.
Anyway, though, nothing else to announce or wrap up.
I'm good. Nothing to add anything.
Alrighty. Okay, so with that, everybody say goodnight.
Oh, the
Bye.
sleep.
Good night,
Bye.
Bye.
Good night, everybody. We'll see y'all Thursday.